Afternoon, everybody. How are we? I think I'm in. I think I'm live. I should have audio. It should be all good. Right, okay, who have we got in? We have got loads of people in already. Cool. It's going to be a busy stream today, people. Right, who have we got in? Let's have a look. Battery Maker Bill, afternoon to you. Well, morning, actually. Spanky and his magic piano's in. I'm in. I'm here. We also got Rob Titheridge. Afternoon, Rob. Theo's in. Theo Bovril. Cody's. Paul. Benji. Happy Little Fox, aka Benji's in. Andrew Ausfer. Man Cave Workshop. Sean. Sporting a nice hangover, same as me. Bretsky. Douglas James. Old Timer G7. Afternoon, mate. Wenlock from Down Under. Thanks for staying at Wenlock to say hello. George Christophe. Morning, George. Afternoon, even. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Have I missed anybody? Mike Racing Demon. Well, I think that's got everybody in it. Change the audio again slightly. Love to mess about with stuff, don't I? I can't help myself. So no lapel mic today. Hi Cyberflyer. No lapel mic today because we've got a guest in, my brother Trevor. Headphones Hi-Fi Reviews from YouTube is here to show us some headphones and various other bits and pieces. Afternoon, Andy. Vintage Electronics Repair. How are you? So we've also got the draws to do today for the 3 radios that Cody's and Man Cave Workshop very kindly are giving away from 2 weeks ago on the live stream. So if you want any info on that, if you haven't entered already, hi Victor McCaig. I look live. I don't feel very live, mate, I'll tell you. Yeah, if you want any information on that, if you look at the live stream for 2 weeks ago on my channel, all the information on how to enter is there. I will double check before we do the draw that there's not any last minute entries in. And we will do the draw probably midway through the stream, I think, just to give everybody a chance that hasn't already entered to enter. More the merrier. So I should be able to do the draw live. I will be able to do the draw live on my iPad. So that's the plan. Hi Gary, how are you? Wenlock's in bed. Oh, yeah, as I say, a bit of a late night last night, or early morning. Right, I need some alcohol. I've got my, what should I have? I'll have an Abbott. I think let's have an Abbott, shall we? I need something to try and sort myself out. So let's go with an Abbott Ale. I've got a Stream Deck here as well that I'm using at the moment, which is a bit of a new thing for me. I've not quite got to grips with it, so the transitions aren't brilliant. Let's say it's Abbott Ale. Everyone's favourite, isn't it? One of my favourites. I need something to try and top myself up, really. So what have we all been up to then? Hair of the dog, yeah. What are we all up to on a sunny Sunday, wherever you are? Let's go back to the... I call that a very quick transition. Banging with air. Get that mic isolated from the bench. Are you going to buy me a stand, Benji, for it? But buy me a boom, and I'll isolate it just for you. Yeah, every time I touch anything, it's going to come through the microphone, unfortunately. If I put it on the desk, it'd be even worse, so... yeah, not a lot of choice on that, so you have to put up with it, unfortunately. So, George is tidying up after all that auctioning that he did, auction buying. All has rebuilt. Cody's has rebuilt an RFM 3 from scratch this week. It does gate quite loudly. That's probably my noise gate, I expect, George. I don't know whether I did get it right last week, but I don't think I saved my settings on the mic. But we can have a quick play with that, can't we? If it's gating noisily.
What's that mean?
Gating is if you go silent, it cuts the mic off, so you don't hear any background noise. And you can adjust the threshold for it cutting in and out. That's what George means.
Got you.
So my noise gate at the moment is at 43 dB. I can pump that up a bit. Let's go up to 60 dB. It shouldn't be quite as crashing then, George. Is that any better? That Canadian always dropping stuff on the bench and banging his head in the mic. Are we talking about Jim, are we? Hi Keith, how are you? From Texas? Badjo's in. I didn't see Badjo slip in there. Oh, yes, I did. Badjo Mendes, afternoon to you, mate. It's not shutting at all now. That's even better then, George, isn't it? It's not gating at all now. I will get the hang of this. Once it's good, I just need to save the settings, and then I'll be fine. But yeah, noise gate is... I got it 61 dB. Let's pop it back a bit to, say, 50 dB. Still not gating. Oh well, never mind. Lee, afternoon Lee, how are you? 300 reels at the Man Cave workshop. He's not kidding either. 300 reels. Oh, he's using 300 reels of duct tape to pack a Rick 1.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think that one's going to get damaged, Sean, is it? I have got a rather interesting radio on the bench today, Theo. It's one that I've been after. I've bid on them a few times and never managed to get one, but this one was on a buy it now offers, and I managed to get it on an offer this time. So pretty much what we're going to do today is I'm going to have a quick look over this radio, show you what I've got, we'll give it a test, look to see if there's any bits we need to do. If it's not working, we'll see if we can get it working. Then we'll pass over to my brother Trevor, and he can talk about headphones for a while. No, it's not another Mitsubishi, Paul. But the Mitsubishi's haunting me, isn't it? You won't let it lie, will you? You won't let it lie. Yeah, so then we'll pass over to my brother to talk about some headphones and other bits and pieces that he's brought along to show you today. And then I'll jump back in and we'll do the draw. And if we got time at the end, I can have a look. Someone suggested last week doing a live zapping of some AF117. So that's what we're going to do.
Will that hurt?
It could do.
Okay.
If I get it wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, don't forget, Sean, it's UK only. Unfortunately, Bill doesn't live in the UK. So yeah, you need to go to the live stream for 2 weeks ago and just follow the instructions. I pinned them on the comments. But yeah, you need to go in, type in which radio or all of them. Right, so George Christophe, was it? It was a class move, wasn't it? I'm not all with you totally there. Anyway, let's see if we can get this radio in shot that I picked up on a popular auction site. Right.
Graham, that does look a little bit like a handbag to me.
Well, that's what, you know.
This looks fabricy.
That's Trevor talking in the
Hi
background.
guys.
He's going to be chipping in, I'm sure, from time to time. Right, so let's pop this radio on, and see if you can recognise it. Let's get the tatty handle out the way. This is what I've got for us to play with today. Anybody ever seen one of those before?
Nope.
Bratsky's saying hi, Trev. Bad Joe's saying hi.
Hi back. Oh,
Wasp.
I'll sort it out. This way, please. Thank you.
It's gone out, is he?
Yeah, send them out.
Go back to the live of the 18th. Come in. Okay. It is a Nomad, Paul, but it's quite a rare one because they did do some of these in sort of fancy finishes. And this is one of those radios. It's a Nomad, I think it's a TP10? No, TP11, I think. We'll have a look in a minute. But as you can see, the handle's a bit ropey on it, but it is there, which is good. So I'm thinking maybe I might be able to save that handle. I'm not sure. It's very ropey. It's mainly the stitching's come undone on it. But it's got a mark on the back as well. It looks like a bit of ink or something. I may be able to get that out. But really, overall, it's not bad. Someone's done a pretty rough job of trying to glue this piece. This should be like a little brass filler over there. A little brass sort of box section just to join those together. But it's a very unusual colour, and it's got blue knobs as well, which are, I've never seen blue knobs like this on any of these radios. I think some of the hackers use them, Roberts use them, and Dynatron use them, but I've never seen any blue ones before. It's quite a nice colour, isn't it? I mean, the camera's pretty true to life on the colour. So we can pop the camera light on if I can reach it. There we go. That's a bit better. I'll stick me down in the corner there. Oh, hello. What's going on there? I'm trying to get rid of my title there. There we go. Steepletone Nomad. Yeah, it is a nice radio, isn't it? The stitching on that handle is not brilliant. It can be done. I think it's gone really limp in the middle. It's the filler that they've used, like a cardboard backer, is all falling out. So I need to put a new stiffener in the handle and then try and sew it all back together. Doable, I'm sure, but not in my remit, I don't think. I might have to find someone who's into sewing for that. Hi, David Roberts and Steve405. How are you both? You over with Andy today, Steve? Light added then. It's a bit low there, isn't it? Let's get that out of the way. One thing is the leather's obviously already got the holes in it, which is half the problem is getting a needle through the leather. But we should be all right with that one. Yeah, that's right, Steve. Yes, so we need to try and hook this up. I mean, someone's unfortunately glued this, so I'm going to have to try and get the glue out somehow. It looks it's probably been super glued, I expect. Yeah, they haven't done a very good job of that. So I'm going to have to try and get that out. what can I say? What else can I say about it? It's got a tone switch. That's high, medium, and low tone on it. Long wave, medium wave. Only a 2-band radio. The dial plate's pretty good. It looks like it's just starting to go in that top corner. That's the like printing underneath it, because these do suffer from flaking paint. I've not opened the back on this yet, so let's have a look. It could be a right dog inside, but it isn't. Look at those ferrites. Looks like a 10-inch ferrites on that, isn't it? Yeah, 10-inch ferrite rods there on that. It would have if I put the ruler the right way around. 10-inch ferrites, one for each band. So these are very good for reception. Battery tags are there, both of them.
Big old speaker.
It's a big old RCA speaker by the looks of it. Not as big as the Hacker speakers, but pretty big. Just trying to see what ohms it is. I can't see what ohms it is. It uses these weird, what they call top hat transistors. That's going to be a bit dark for you there. Let me just turn that around and I'll stick it on the overhead cam and show you what I mean. Put the light on. Alright, so find the overhead cam that's there. Can you see him? Yeah, you can just about see one center of the picture there. Zoom you in a little bit. Let's find something to point with. So down here, the Edis one. I think that's how you pronounce it. Excuse me. Also, we've got these lovely Plessy electrolytics, which are a pain in the neck. So they're going to want restuffing for sure, because I'd like to keep this set as original as possible. Someone's pinging away on the chat there. Just giving you a bit more of a close-up on it. Hopefully you can still hear me when I'm not looking at the microphone. And we've got some hunts as well. Lovely. Tucked away down in here, look. You see that? Some nice little hunts. So yeah, there we go. In theory, it ought to work, but you never know, do you? Let's get some power on it and see. It's a bit different, Trevor, isn't it? Seeing it actually happen rather than on a TV screen.
Yeah, it is. I can understand it a lot better looking at it like this.
If you can understand it, you'll have to let me know what the hell I'm up to.
Red to red, red to black. I don't understand what you're up to.
I'm just trying to hook these up. These are a little bit dodgy because they can easily touch each other, so. Just trying to hook them up. There we go. Okay, do we reckon this will work then? Hi Nigel, how are you, mate? Takes you about 40 years. Hi Stephen, how are you? Stephen Brown. Someone's posted something on Facebook group. Can my kid see the chat? No, you could log in on your phone and follow the chat, couldn't you? Or on the iPad. Trader sheet 1450. Okay, Paul's just posted that for us to have a look at. Let's have a quick look on the iPad. Trader sheet. Let's try and see if I can get that full screen, Paul, but I don't think I can. Yeah, so that's from the 1960 trader sheet, 1450. No, I can't save that anywhere for some reason. Open in Safari. There we go. There we are. That's better. So let's flash you over onto my iPad. So Paul's just sent me this across, which is the trader sheet. You can see there it's from 1960. And it also covers the TP12 Linnet, which I've got as well. You've seen the Linnet before. I do need to get to grips with that one. So there's our transistor list. As I say, these are very strange names because they're these Edison transistors. And TR6 and TR7, the outputs, they're extremely rare. So I'm going to be really, really careful powering this up because I do not want to take those output transistors out because I don't think I would get any more. And if anybody knows of any of the Edison output transistors, I've got a Dynatron Gypsy down there that needs a new output transistor, and I think that's a package transistor. I think that one is as well. Anyway, that's enough rabbiting on, but just thought I'd show you that. Thank you, Paul, for sending that over. There's a circuit on it. Pretty straightforward. I don't think there's anything exceptional on it. It's got an output transformer on it, on this one. And lots of those lovely Plessy capacitors. Nice. Used to mend radios and TVs when you were a teenager, Nigel. I don't think I started that young. I can't remember. Trev might know. Trev might know when I first started getting into radios. You've got better memory than I have. I've killed all mine with the alcohol in my brain cells.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we were breaking stuff from the age of about 3, I think, and getting
breaking
smacked for
stuff.
it. I don't remember repairing much.
No, I mean, I think I bought my first radio. Well, I obviously had hi-fi gear in that when I was 18. That's my very first ever purchases. 18.
You were younger than that when you were an apprentice, weren't you? You were buying stuff.
17.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy anything.
The Pioneer was the first proper one.
Mm. What were we saying here? 7 transistors with a push-pull output, not bad. Yeah, especially with a separate ferrite bill for each band. No whiskers in it. The only problem is as I say, these Plessy capacitors. Your first old radio was a 1937 Zenith. I think one of my first radios was a Hacker Super Sovereign, actually, that I got out of the local paper back in the days before the internet. Dr. Bob. New nickname, Dr. Matic. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on now. So, Sean's first radio was an Arrow pocket radio. Anyway, let's get this radio back in shot, and we'll get some power on it to see if it actually works. Okay, the current limit's cut in. It's not drawing a massive amount of current, so I think we're okay. but I can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything.
It's drawing 20 milliamps. Let's make sure my wires are all making contact. Not a dicky bird.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Nothing. Dead as a dodo. Bit smooth with the Stream Deck. Yes, the picture-in-picture is pretty quick, George. But what I need to do with the Stream Deck is set it up as previews, and I just push a button for whatever camera I want, and then hit fade, and it'll fade in. Because at the moment it's like bang, straight in there. Brett had some Binatone radio headphones. Sanyo 7 for Theo. Anyway, as I say, this ain't working. Let's just make sure we've got voltage in the thing. Let's check there. See the voltage there.
How is it sold then?
That's always spares and repairs these, Trev. You've got to assume they're not working.
Right.
I never buy it, really, anything. Oh, hello.
Oh.
Could be this lovely wire here. Not making very good contact.
Yeah.
These are pretty.
Sounded like it.
Oh, it's my cables again. It works.
Now, Lord O'Donnell has told this programme that Boris Johnson's government is playing a very dangerous political game by suspending Parliament for 5 weeks, and warned that a no-deal exit is inevitable unless opponents succeed in pushing through emergency legislation to stop it. Anne McAvoy presents the Westminster Hour tonight from 10. This week's producer.
That's not bad for medium wave.
It's long wave, that is.
That's long wave.
That's long wave, yeah.
Wow.
It's actually working, people.
And now the BBC is proud to present a brand new radio drama series. Part 1, The Beginning.
What have the Pythons ever done for us? I'm sending you some leaflets. Good, aren't they?
In comes the anticlimax.
Oh, come on, Brain, come
Tone
on,
works.
Brain, you can do it.
Get on with it.
After searching Cirrus, skips and ciphers, Michael Palin presents never-before-heard sketches, rehearsals.
See if it'll pick up the Welsh. No. You would do it in the background. Right, let's try medium wave. Still only drawing 20 milliamps, so. Bit of Robbie. Yeah, it's not particularly sensitive on medium wave, but then, as we've seen before, it's not very good for medium wave in here, unfortunately, or long wave. Should be able to get a couple stations there, but. Dirty wave change switch. Well, in a way, that's disappointing that it works.
It's a success.
Well, I haven't done nothing to it, Trev. This is the thing. It's working straight out of the box.
Yeah, you've got some cosmetic work to do, though. My God.
Yeah, I think the toughest bit's going to be that that strap, without a doubt.
I think you're going to become a seamstress at this rate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got a sewing machine up in the loft.
There you are.
Mum's old one. So yeah, there we are. Serial number is 45211, 45,211. It's gonna need a bit of work, that, but it is working at the moment. So, but those plessies, if they fail, go short circuit, could well take out those output transistors, which would be pretty impossible to replace. I'm sure it could be redesigned, but yeah, stream over. That's it. Yeah, so it works. What can we do? What else can we say? What's George saying? No good, Bratsky. Transistors will fry. You need a valve set to be safe from EMP. EMP? You need these old radios for when the next nuclear war comes. Irrigation? Oh, we're talking about the Romans, are we? Yeah, okay. Yes, 'tis. 'Tis a lovely old radio, definitely. So, Paul's very kindly posting the rules of the competition again. As I say, I'll keep checking the page, and because it does hold back, pardon me, some of the comments sometimes. I need to get on the right page. So, what do we think about the Dynatron? Then it's a nice radio, isn't it? It's got some cosmetic stuff, as Trav says, but it's a lovely finish. I'm assuming you can see the finish on it. I'll go in a little bit closer, see if the camera will do it justice.
Do you ever get to find out as to why somebody designed something to look like that? Because
No.
it's a very unusual design, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? So the side is like covered in a grey fabric, like almost like a basket weave effect.
And have we got something missing above that handle?
You think the brassy surround is upside down, Paul, do you? It isn't. It isn't upside down, but there should be like a little piece of stuff in there, just filling it in. Let me go and get you another one a minute. I can show you what I mean. Bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. So this is one that I've already restored. Let's get that in a close-up for you, show you what that centerpiece should look like.
That looks beautiful.
If you can see that or not very well. Yeah, the camera doesn't like that. It's too neutral for the camera. There you go. So yeah, this little tiny bit of brass is what's missing off the other one. If I zoom back out again, hopefully it'll brighten up a bit. No, it doesn't like. So yeah, this is one that I have actually restored with a decent handle as well, which is pretty rare on these. It's got a little bit of tape on there from the panel, but and it's a bit dusty. That bit of tape's just there to remind me to stick it back in when I take it apart next time. So there you go. And this one, I believe, I think I did some of this live, didn't I? Because I've try and get the back off of it. I've actually restuffed all the capacitors in that one. So all of those caps, although they look old, they're actually all restuffed. So yeah, quite proud of that one. That's a lovely radio.
Yeah.
So there you are. And I say they did these in various different colours. They did them in red. I've got a red one knocking about somewhere. I've got a grey one. Shall I go and see if I've got another one in there? I don't know if I have or not. The camera's really dark, isn't it? Don't know why. The others might be up in the loft, but I'll just see if I've got another one in the room. Nope. Nope. That's the only two that I've got to hand. Yeah, I don't say they're impossible to replace, Sean. I'm sure that somebody with a bit more knowledge of bias in transistors could work out the biases and change them for something different. Yeah, hi Chris, how are you? All the gear, no idea. So there we are. It does look quite dark, that picture, but I don't know. I think it's just this brown case. It's got on auto exposure at the moment, so who knows? So there we go. That's the Dynatron Nomad TP11 actually working. There's me hoping it wasn't going to work, but it's always sod's law, isn't it? Pop me, but oof, that's a very quick transition, isn't it? Let's get Benji's banner back up. It's getting a bit warm in my pocket. It is a bit warm here today, people. I don't know what this temperature is saying. 24 degrees in the workroom today.
The sun's coming right in, isn't it? Just at the minute.
Yeah, it's got to be on the clouds at the moment, which is quite nice in a way. Yeah, Benji, good picks, mate. What can I say? It's not really a lot you can comment about on the pictures, really, is it? They are good. But, do some more radio stuff for us, Benji. Do some more radio stuff for us. Treat us. It's chilly and windy up north today, is it? It's certainly warm down south. Okay. Well, shall we get Trevor in to say hello? What do you think, Trev?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
You're fit?
Yeah.
You ready? Let me get my
Well,
ass
I
out of
don't
the
know
way.
about ready, but there'll be some traipsing in and out with various bits and bobs.
Would you want to go and get something in a minute?
Yeah.
I've got to take these out of the way. Make room for Trev's bits and pieces. I'll let Trev introduce himself, tell you a bit about him, himself, where he lives, all that sort of stuff. Let me just get these out the way a sec. Right. So those of you that don't know, Trevor has got his own YouTube channel, and he is... I've got a banner for him. I've got a banner for him, Benji. He is younger brother, Chris. Was it Chris? No, Bill was asking that. Yeah, I'm the oldest of 3. He's just preparing, getting a few bits and pieces ready to show you. So I think we are going to have a go at playing you some stuff through headphones, through this microphone. So, never tried that before. Never tried it. Did he drive you crazy when you were kids? Of course he did. Trev.
Yeah.
Did you drive me crazy when we were kids?
No, you drove me crazy being the older brother.
I drove him crazy, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't get into any details on that.
No, it's a long time ago.
That's a long story, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
They knocked me beer over then, that would have
many
been.
beers ago now, so a lot of it's been forgotten, thankfully.
Oh, dear. Right, you fit then, Trev?
Yeah.
Right, let me just stick a banner on so you know who we're talking about. If you look Trev's channel up on YouTube, you will find him. I'm going to stick this microphone into omnidirectional, so as you can hear me rabbiting on as well. That should still be okay. And I will monitor the chat from over here, and any questions, ask him, and I'll ask him to Trevor. So here we are, introducing Trevor. Headphones Hi-Fi Reviews.
Hi guys, do you notice the resemblance?
No, I'm much prettier.
More of a handsome face, I think.
No.
You can tell by my nickname. Whether I change that in the future, I don't know. What I'm into, but basically you guys need to now come out of the ark for half an hour or so and come into the future, because I don't deal with the world of analog so much as the world of digital. We haven't really got the space on Graham's bench, as massive as it is for record players and such, so we're all going to be dealing with mobile phones and digital to analog converters and digital audio players and lots of headphones for the next little while. First of all, let me show you my t-shirt, if I can get that in picture. So this was a t-shirt that was made by my friend Dylan, who is a friend I met on a group called headfi.org. Headfi.org get 1.5 million hits per month on that website, and every single major headphone manufacturer in the world that deals with hi-fi headphones, not Beats headphones, not Bose headphones, they are not interested in it at all, but every major player in the hi-fi world sponsors that site. And the headfi guys run things called can jams, and can jams are all to do with cans, which is American for headphones. And a group of us in 2015 did our own version of that in South Cambridge, and we went and showed all our weird and wonderful stuff. But let me tell you, the stuff I've got here now nobody has ever seen, not in its entirety, and some of it you probably will not be able to see anywhere in the United Kingdom in any audio show you went to this year or next. It's that rare, but you can see where the need for uniqueness and rarity comes from. When we're dealing with Radiocruncher, it runs in the family. I'm just as crazy as he is.
You've got some questions here, Trev.
Well, let's go for it then.
We've got Brett asking you about Bluetooth headphones. He needs to buy some, apparently.
Bluetooth headphones. These are Bluetooth headphones, but Bluetooth headphones come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, Brett. Now, the headphone world is made up of lots and lots of different types of headphones. You've got full-size headphones. These are really, really big. These are Odyssey Mobius. They run on Bluetooth. They also...
What is Brett using them for, though? Really? What are you actually using them for, Brett? I think that's probably a good question. Because
Yes.
just listening to his phone on his way to work or something, possibly that might be overkill.
Brett, if you want to be doing exercising with your headphones, and that's the reason why you need wireless headphones, then I was sent these by Hi-Fi Man, and these are called TWS, which is truly wireless. Can we get the main cam up?
Yeah, if you push a button for the main cam or the overhead cam. Do you want the overhead cam?
Well, Graham, this all seems to have disappeared now. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's because
thank
the
you.
main cam.
Main cam, right. So let's have a look at these.
Do you want to stick them underneath the
So we'll
overhead
stick them
cam?
on the overhead cam.
There you
Thank
go.
you. Right, yeah. So as you can see, these come in a pod, and this pod recharges the earphones.
How can it recharge? It's got battery in the pod, has it?
It's got a built-in battery, and if you can see on the side, you've got a USB-C charger port,
Yeah.
and you just plug those into a USB-C charger or plug them into your laptop, and they will recharge the earbuds. These are truly wireless earbuds, and they will recharge them up to 6 times, which means you get 30 hours of battery life.
All right. Okay.
Now, if you want the best possible isolation and the best possible comfort and the least amount of cable noise when you are running, for instance, or sprinting or doing work that involves soldering, for instance, then these have no wires at all. If we can see, I'll just give them a spin round for you.
So I'm in the
They
shot.
have no cabling attached to them whatsoever.
Bill's asking about cost on those, Trev. He said they look high quality and expensive. What sort of price would a set of those set you back?
The price, those will set you back at the moment $150 on the Hi-Fi Man website.
That's not too bad for a really good quality set of.
If you were to use something like Amazon, for instance, you might be able to pick up something of equal or better quality sound to your preference for less. But Hi-Fi Man have a proven pedigree, and they're one of the top head-fi picks for most headphones, and I'm going to be showing you an awful lot of Hi-Fi Man headphones. These aren't particularly bassy, for instance, so if you want bass from your sound, you wouldn't be using these while you're out running. But if you want to hear what you're listening to really clearly while you're out running, then the Hi-Fi Mans are really good. And the only problem I have with these is, let's put one of these in my ears. The only problem we have with these is when you start running vigorously, particularly downhill,
They're going to drop out, aren't
they fall out. 2 days ago I lost one of these under a van. It took me 10 minutes to find it,
they?
which worried me slightly.
They look fairly heavy, Trev. Are they heavy or they're quite light?
No, they are very, very light. That's
Oh, yeah, aren't they? I thought that was like solid metal. Just plastic, basically, yeah.
yes, yeah.
I suppose
They're
it's got to be,
plastic.
otherwise they would be
Yeah.
dropping at your ears. They do
Yeah,
look
so
chunky.
for instance, when I finish my run with these, I run 20 to 25 miles a week, so these get quite a lot of use.
The only
And
running I do is to the toilet usually.
okay, thank you for that. Yes, well that's to do with bad pints, I suppose, or the 15th pint,
So we've got some
maybe more like.
questions for you, Trev. We've got some more questions for you. Let's have a look. I think we had somebody asking if you've got any vintage headphones.
Oh yes, yes, I have.
You've brought some vintage headphones to show us today.
Yes.
I can look at those in a minute then, can we, a bit later.
Yeah, we've got everything from the very latest from a company called Kickstarter. These are the Odyssey Mobius. They were bought off of Kickstarter 6 months ago. I've hardly used them, but you know, they are one of the very latest designs of headphones, and they're designed to be doing lots of different things.
Brilliant.
To ones that were made in 1989.
Chris is saying he's got some 1930s crystal headphones. Do
Beautiful.
they count?
Yes. Well, that's way beyond anything that I've got. I think the first set of headphones I gather were made using a pair of speakers, and they were just basically put together with a metal band across them. And I think they came from Germany, if I remember correctly. Germany were the first speakers came out.
So Gary is saying, Brett is saying he was thinking of AKG Y50s Bluetooth.
Yeah. Are they full size, Brett?
And it's for hi-fi, he wants them.
For hi-fi?
AKG Y50s?
AKG Y50s, we might have to look that up. You might have to tell me a bit more about them. The trouble is, you know, I confess to be, you know, I say I'm an expert in headphones, and people ask my advice on all sorts of things, but nobody out there can possibly have listened to every set of headphones on the market. The headphone market is absolutely vast, and for instance, a little known fact is that the world's most successful financially recording artist who ever lived is a man called Dr. Dre.
Good old Dr. Dre.
I doubt if many of you guys have got many of his tracks.
NWA. I've got a few. Well, I've got an NWA album, but
well,
we can't
he did
really
never make millions
play
from NWA, Graham. But what he did do is he sold Beats by Dr. Dre headphones. He sold that company to Apple for billions.
Did he really?
Yes, and that's made him the most financially successful recording artist who ever walked the planet, simply because of headphones, and that's how big the headphone industry is.
So Gary's saying he's got some QJ AKG 701 and 702s.
Yeah, the 701 and 702 studio monitors, aren't they? Studio monitor headphones?
I think they are, yeah.
Closed backs? Yeah.
So.
Closed back, open back, on ear, over ear, Bluetooth, wasps. We've got wasps.
Wasp bitch, get out. Nasty wasp.
Apparently we're told that you're never supposed to bat wasps away, but who can avoid doing that? I mean, it was getting that close to the beer that it became almost a life and death situation.
Let's go and get the wasp bat.
Oh, not the wasp bat. We've heard that one enough already this morning.
So more questions for you.
Okay.
Benji's got some Bayer DT331.
Yeah, Bayer Dynamics. Yeah, they're great. I've had some Bayer Dynamic DT880s. But again, the 331s, I have to say, I'm sorry, I've never heard them. I love to hear them. I always enjoy listening to all types of headphones and earphones. We've really got a problem with the wasp. Graham's gone. That's it. The boy's gone. There you are. And of course, I'm sat here soldiering on, the hero that I am. Okay, so... yeah, Brett, I don't know if we got very far with your request for what sort of Bluetooth headphones are great, but if you want a pair of hi-fi Bluetooth earphones, then the Odyssey Mobius do something really amazing. So these act as Bluetooth headphones for when you're doing your soldering or whatever you're doing on your benches, but if you plug a USB-C cable into them and plug them into a laptop, a Windows or a MacBook or a Linux laptop or PC, what they do is they then become 7.1 surround sound headphones. So they mimic what you would hear in a cinema using some gadgetry that's inside them. That's why they're so huge. So, and you can also put just a normal cord in them. Let's just have a look at that and see if I can get the overhead cam working. Yes, I can. How about that? So yeah, you see the headphone jack there. Yeah, so you just plug that in and you can just use them as a normal set of headphones. And Brett, let's just give you an idea what these sound like while we're here. Okay, so we'll switch them on and we'll connect them up. As I say, this is just, I'm sorry about this, this is all going to be all digital. So we'll switch on my phone here. And we've got Bluetooth on these. Let's switch the Bluetooth on here. Hopefully it's going to come on. Yeah. So we've got a lady saying power on.
They do look fancy, Trev.
Yeah.
What are they, 20 quid set of headphones?
They were £400, I think. They're retailing at £400. I bought them on a website called Kickstarter, which is a startup group, because this is the first time that Odyssey ever did these.
You're probably going to want the main camera, Trev, I expect, yeah?
Yeah, we'll go back to the main cam.
So what are you doing at the moment then?
So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get this working, and we're going to play a song by a busker called Andy Neal, and I bought his CD in outside Lincoln Castle.
Lincoln Castle.
And I've then put the CD onto an SD card, and I put the SD card in my phone, and now we're connecting it up via Bluetooth. So we're going to see if this works. So first of all, this is going to be in 3D Bluetooth, where it mimics what a surround sound system sounds like. So I'm going to put them on my head first to see if they're working. Oh, I can hear something happening. Right, we're going to put these now over the microphone so you can get an idea what they sound like. So that is, I believe, in 3D. And what this does, when I put them on my head now, I'm going to put them on my head. When I turn, the sound moves into the left or right earphone, which is rather amazing. And we now have in the overhead cam, we'll go to.
Could you camera switch in?
Yeah, I know. There's a 3D button here. Can you guys see that clearly? I think so, can't you? Yeah.
Then underneath?
Yeah. So switch that off. And it says 3D off now. So this is what they sound like in just normal stereo. Let's get that right. Oh, did we get the stereo on your...
No, it's good.
Let's get it. Let's go to stereo, and then we'll get the 3D. Oh. We'll put the 3D back on as well. So this is just normal stereo. This gives you an idea of what that sounds like in normal stereo. Yes, they are very, very big, aren't they? Thank you for that, George. So now we'll put the 3D back on. 3D manual. Let's put them on again. Right, that's working perfectly, so we'll put them on, and this is what 3D sounds like.
You look like a Cyberman, apparently.
Yes, yeah, George mentioned I look like a Cyberman, yeah. So I'm going to switch these off now. Power off, yeah. So this sort of stuff is groundbreaking stuff. Oh, yeah. If we can go to the overhead cam again. Can you notice behind the handle, this is where you get some of the magic coming. These are vents, and you'll find these discrete vents in various weird and wonderful places on these types of headphones. Anyway, back to webcam. Yeah, so I think as Bluetooth headphones go, if you want a Bluetooth headphone and you want to play it in hi-fi, and then something like that, you can pick them up second hand, I expect, because a lot of people have bought them on Kickstarter, and they've bought them for £150, and now they're retailing for £450. So they've realised that they can make £100 quite easily, and you'll still get them for an awful lot less than buying them new. But of course, as one knows, you do take a chance buying second hand. Most of my headphones that I haven't been sort of given on permanent loan for review purposes, I've bought second hand, because that is the way to get the best value for money. But of course, you do take a chance, and the build quality on some of the headphones leaves a lot to be desired. But most of the stuff that I've bought, I've been quite successful with, so
George is
I'm
asking
happy
if
with
you
that.
turn them around the mic, can you show the 3D?
Yeah, let's try that, shall we? Okay, so let's switch them on again.
So we're still in stereo, aren't we? Theo saying he can tell the difference. Benji saying if you walk down the street with those on, you look like a refugee from a space mission.
Yeah,
They're not that big, Benji. To be fair, they don't look that big compared to some of the stuff Trevor's got.
oh yeah, we're going to go a lot bigger than that. Right, let's have a look at... Nothing happening at the moment. Let's try again. Power off.
Technical issues. So I'm going to attempt to show you what they sound
Okay,
like in
let's-
3D. So
We have got some technical difficulties, yes, for sure.
George is asking if you lose any quality with the Bluetooth transmission protocol.
Yes. Yes, you do, George. Sorry to tell you.
You lose quality by
there-
having Bluetooth, do you?
There are 5 or 6 types of Bluetooth, guys, and if you're
5
out
or 6
running,
different types of Bluetooth.
if you're out running and you're using Bluetooth aptX, which is fairly close to CD quality sound, you would not notice above your puffing and panting, and you know, when you're slamming your feet down on the pavement and stuff, you know, you're just not going to notice. What you're looking there for is a bit of boost in the bass, a bit of extra clarity. I'll be showing you some a Bluetooth protocol now that's come out called LDAC, and LDAC is the same type of sound quality as you'd come to expect from CD sound quality, but the rest of the Bluetooth stuff sounds, I would say, just slightly more muffled, slightly less clear, slightly less clean sound than you would get from a wired. But if you're working with your circuit boards, guys, then you just don't want cables dangling around more than you've already got. There's enough cables in this on this workbench without needing any more. So, you know, for things like that, yeah. But you can revert back to wired, and on these, when you go back to wired, they do improve very slightly. And when you go to the USB-C, then they do sound amazing. They do sound similar, not exactly, but they sound similar to being in a cinema, in the middle of a cinema, and experiencing the sound. So yeah, they're good. I can't get them working properly at the moment. I don't know why. I know I've got 2 lots of Bluetooth stuff up on the bench at the moment, so whether it's something to do with that, but that we should be getting something.
Are they charged up?
No. 3D off, 3D on.
Could be that they haven't got enough charge in them then, perhaps, to play.
Well,
the audio.
it's saying we got 10% charge, but this
That ain't a lot, is it?
No. Oh, and they swivel round, they're pretty good. But Brett, the answer is, in terms of finding the answer to your question, the best Bluetooth device is probably one that I haven't quite heard yet. And you're not only that, you're looking for value for money as opposed to quality, because you can spend, believe it or not, I believe that KEF has got some £1,000 Bluetooth headphones that they use, and they're pretty good, but you know, when I compare them to 450, they're not twice as good. You know, I wouldn't even say they're more than, I wouldn't pay £1,000 for a set of Bluetooth headphones, because I just don't think realistically, with the fact that you're not getting truly high quality sound, it is slightly muffled compared to a wired Bluetooth headphone. Then you know there's got to be a point where it becomes uneconomical to be spending that sort of money.
Sean is asking about Bluetooth
Hi Sean.
earpieces for motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, now motorcycle helmets.
Inside, you see what she's after, really small. Let's just put this back onto omnidirectional a minute. Yeah, so he's asking about some Bluetooth earphones that you can wear and then put his helmet on over the top.
Yeah. So I always think for doing something like that, I work for the ambulance service, and the guys on the paramedic motorcycles have all got custom fit wireless earbuds. So I'll just go to my bag and show you what a custom fit looks like. And this would be what I would recommend for somebody on a motorcycle.
Just go into his bag of tricks.
Yeah. Right, okay, we'll get the a different camera on. Let's get the main cam on now.
You're on the main cam at the moment.
So, I'm going to show you 3 different types of custom.
I'm cameraman now, that.
Thank you.
That's okay. I'll put the bill in later. Oh, hang on.
So again, if you're talking about inside a helmet, the potential for noise and vibration is absolutely huge, and you're trying to minimize that. And the more isolation you guys can get on your motorcycles, the better, which is why we start looking at customs. So if we look at a first one, this is a professionally made custom earphone, but it is wired. So what a custom in-ear monitor does is, let's get the overhead cam on now for these. And
I did have them in the other cam, but
right, so if we can have a little look at these. So what the purpose of these are is to fit around the bend of your second part of your ear canal, and then that basically was something that was developed to use for musicians doing concerts, so as they could actually hear themselves, hear the music without being completely deafened by it. So that's designed to produce the music, but also to isolate you from outside sounds. So we'll get the main cam back now. So something like these cost £500.
500 quid?
Yeah, they're made by Advanced Custom Solutions in Cambridge.
Yeah.
And they produced the first stage monitor earphones in Europe, basically. So, you know, what you're looking for ideally is somebody that can do you something like that, but maybe so as they go right into your ears without any wires. But the guys are basically putting them on. I'll put them on for you now, and they're putting them behind the backs and down through their shirts, and then they're putting the helmets on. So let's put these on now and show you the fit for them. It's pretty incredible.
Look at the camera, man. Amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So putting the first one in, and I'm already can hear very little now. Do you get an idea of that? And then this wraps around the back of your ear, and I've just put these front ways at the moment. You see how fine this cable is as well. And then that would either go down through the t-shirt like so, and then obviously just put your helmet on over that.
Yeah, that would be just the job, sure.
I can't basically hear anything at all.
You can't hear nothing. So totally isolated then, really. Is that a good idea on a motorbike though, to be totally isolated from any noise? No?
So when I've got these on, if I'm out running with these on, I could probably hear a lorry passing me at speed, but I probably couldn't hear a car passing me at speed. So I don't know, a lot of the guys on the motorbikes are wearing those. So that's a professional custom design, and it costs £500.
So they actually take a mould of your ear, do they? And make them for you?
Yeah, so the principle goes, you have to go to an audiologist who looks at your ears, and if the audiologist decides it's safe to make an impression of your ears, what he'll do is he'll put a gloopy solution into your ears, and then it will set. It feels really strange while it's happening, and once it's set, he will take it out.
So they were made just for you, those headphones, were they?
Yes, they would only ever fit me. You could certainly try them on, but I'm telling you, they will not. They won't go in your ears. Your ears are weird anyway.
Oh,
but yeah, that's all right. So I went to Boots because I wanted some custom in-ears, and Boots said, "You've got too much wax in your ears. I can't do anything." So then I went back, and he said, "You've almost done it. Come back again." So I went back a third time, and he said, "Great, they're really clear." And then he did. He looked down my ears with something called an orthoscope, and he said, "No, I'm not touching them. You've got something growing out of your ears." So because I do surfing, I've developed something called surfer's ear in my left ear, because as you wait for the waves in this country, the predominant wind direction is in the southwest, and the ear and the brain work together to to try and prevent you from growing deaf by having wind blowing down into your ear and making you permanently deaf. They start growing a substance which is very similar to what teeth are from out of your ear, and my ear canal had shrunk by 50%, and so the audiologist at Boots said, I'm not touching you. So I ended up going to ACS themselves, and the founder of ACS made ear impressions, which got me thinking, and I thought, do I ever want to go through that hassle again, knowing the fact that because Boots are treating me almost like a disabled person, and they say it's unsafe for them to look inside my ears and put something inside my ears because they're not covered for it. So I started looking at solutions to making my own earplugs, and believe it or not, for a fraction of the cost, and I mean a fraction of the cost, you can make custom in-ears yourselves. So first of all, on the internet you can get things that the guys that go out shooting get, which is just an ear plug kit, and you put the stuff in your ears yourself. There are advantages and disadvantages to that. It's less hassle. Yeah, I think I will have one in a second. Yeah, it's less hassle to not have to go to Boots all the time and have them say, oh no, I can't help you, you know, your ears are no good.
Gank.
It's cheaper than paying them 50 quid to do an ear impression. You can do it yourself, and the kits cost 10 quid on the internet, and you can do it in a fraction of the time of waiting for them to do it. But if you get it wrong, it might be a trip to see somebody like my wife at a minor injuries department, and that can be quite embarrassing, and you could permanently lose your hearing. So I started looking at solutions to that, and I found this. Let's get the overhead cam on. Now, I don't profess to be as skilled as you guys with tinkering with solderings and stuff like that. I know very little, if nothing, about electronics, but I do know now how to make a custom in-ear monitor. And yes, it doesn't look as polished and as professional as the guys with the 3D printers that are making them at ACS and charging £500 for it, but the sound is very, very close, and you can use your own universal in-ear monitor or earbud, which this is a set of earbuds that cost £10 on AliExpress. I spent probably 2 hours making these, and the cost to me to make those, other than my time, was 2p, using a product I bought off of Amazon called Polymorph, which is water soluble plastic granules, and the water soluble plastic granules melt together and bond together once they come in contact with boiling water from a kettle, for instance. Now let me show you the fit of these. I don't know how well you can see that, but the isolation is 95% of what I was getting in the other ones. Because I've done the right ear slightly different, it's probably more like 99% in the right ear. So these, the total cost of these is £10 and 2p, and the total cost of these is £500 if you can convince them to give you discount, because most of them will, because the profit they make on them is probably something like 3,000 or 4,000% markup. So if you can work out how to make them yourself, then you know that is equally as good. But obviously for a motorcyclist you wouldn't want this bit stuck out here, so you'd be looking at something slightly different.
You've got plenty of questions coming in on Trev, on your chat there.
Well, finally, if we were just talking about Bluetooth, these are Bluetooth. These are actually Bluetooth, so they've got a slight cable that go around the back of the neck. So I'll just show you these. So these don't stick out quite as much, and as you can see, they're pretty much a perfect custom fit. They're Bluetooth, and they came free with my watch, which is a TomTom Music Runner 3, and you can play music through the TomTom Music Runner 3 straight into these earphones, and the whole package was £80 years ago.
You're on the overhead camera apparently still.
Oh, so the TomTom Music Runner 3 is this one, and if I just show you quickly, so there it's searching for and would find a pair of Bluetooth headphones. So with your motorcycle you could actually use something like a watch, an Apple Watch or a Samsung smartwatch, and you could have something like these, and these would just go round the back of your neck, which we'll just put on the webcam again. Yeah, so I'll just go back onto the webcam because I keep on getting confused as to where and what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so whatever's on that screen is what you're looking at.
So again, these don't stick out anything like as much, and that's not really causing me any particular pressure because, again, as you can see, I put custom. I've customized them. Not perfectly. We'll go back onto the overhead cam again. Not perfectly, as you can see, there are blemishes.
You need to put them down on the on the bench trap to focus, because it's focused on the bench.
So as you can see, they're not perfect by any means, but the more you work on them, pretty much like with radios, I think, the more you work on them, the better they will look. But those are 3 different ways in which you can get isolated, decent quality sound for either a lot of money or next to no money when you're out on your motorcycles with your helmets over. So Graham, you said we had some more questions?
Yeah, you've got loads here already.
Okay, we'll go back onto the webcam. Sorry guys.
Doug's just joined, so afternoon Doug.
Hi Doug.
From the States, East
From the
Coast of
States.
the US. Victor McCaig saying he uses Sennheiser Urbanite wired headphones. They're cheap and sound great to me. If you're over the age of say 40 and your hearing is going a bit, is there any point in high-end headphones, spending a lot of money on high-end headphones?
Well, it depends how much money you've got and what your other interests are.
But what
But
you're saying is if your
most of
hearing's
the
going-
guys that are part of Headfi, and most of the guys that go to audio shows make me look like a spring chicken. So I can hear up to 15,000 hertz, and what I can hear up to 15,000 hertz I enjoy, and I can hear differences between all the headphones, and hopefully when we're demonstrating a few of these headphones you guys will be able to hear the difference. But believe you me, I have to say here and now, I mean, I'm an enthusiast and I get great fun out of headphones, but if you tell me that there's a absolutely huge difference between a pair of £10 headphones I've got here and a pair of £1,000 headphones that I show you. There isn't enough difference to warrant that sort of money. There's a law of diminishing returns on headphones. So I understand why people are just absolutely astonished that I've got headphones that are worth so much money and have cost so much money, but in reality, you know, how old you are should never be a barrier to you enjoying what you want to do.
There's a health question here from Chris. He's saying,
questions.
Wonder what Trev thinks about suggest cancer risk from in-ear RF energy exposure.
Well, you can get cancer from an awful lot of different things, and I haven't looked up the particular research on that. They say that the new 5G network that's coming out is a cancer risk and a radiation risk. They've been saying microwave energy is a radiation risk for years. I don't have any answers for you. I just have the same sort of questions that you've got. I don't know is the answer to you. There's an awful lot of wireless protocols and networks out there, and you know, I suppose naively we all trust, don't we, that the governments and the regulators are doing what they should be doing to make sure that we're as safe as we can be, to live a life that's reasonably fulfilling. But beyond that, you would probably know an awful lot more about that problem than I have ever bothered to look at, because I just tend to stick this stuff on and put it in my ears and head out running or sit and enjoy myself, drinking a glass of Guinness quite often, which leads me to need to pour this thing out, I think. So if you can give us some info about the RF stuff, then by all means PM me or Graham or one of the other guys and we'll pick it up and I'll read it, because I'm sure that would be fascinating.
So Bill is asking, are you a fan of noise cancelling phones? His wife's got a pair of Sonys that work quite well.
Right, well, noise cancelling technology was invented by Bose, and it was invented for the jet fighter pilots, and it's really clever. It knows the frequency of general background noise, and it just cuts that frequency out. I have got some noise cancelling headphones, but for listening to in a quiet room, the best sound that I've found that you can get is without using noise cancelling. So noise cancelling will
do? Well, it cuts out background noise, does it?
It just cuts out background noise, and is supposed to keep the sound pretty much the same as what you were hearing before. But if you press the noise cancelling button in, guys, and you switch the noise cancelling off, you will hear quite a difference.
Right.
But you know, when you're in a plane and you're on a noisy flight and there's children screaming and stuff, noise cancelling is worth far more than any potential slight loss in sound quality. So if you've got it, switch it on. And I've got some noise cancelling headphones and I love them, but in terms of noise cancelling, these isolate extremely well, and these don't need any noise cancelling on them because they're customs and they cost £10 and they don't need any buttons. So in other words, you're never going to have a battery that dies on you with your noise cancelling. If you don't have noise cancelling and you just have well isolating earphones, most of the time, 99% of the time of your life, other than when you're on long haul flights and stuff, you shouldn't really need it.
So Bill's asking if you've got any vintage phones to show.
Right then, Bill, I'm going to show you the AKG K1000s from 1989, and this, I'm hoping, will be the first time any of you guys have ever seen a pair of headphones that looks quite like this. So I'm just going to go outside for a second.
Going back to his stash. He's got a lot of stuff here.
So,
Vintage. Ooh,
now,
steady.
who said that I looked like a Cyberman earlier?
You stick them on the bench here, Treble. Zoom in on them if you want.
Thank you.
If you put them on the
Thanks,
main
brother.
camera. To switch to the main camera then.
Switch to main cam. The AKG K1000 bass heavy ear speakers. So these are known as ear speakers or Kopfhörers, because obviously AKG are from Germany as a company, but these are made in Austria. And they have flaps.
Oh my god.
Hopefully you can get an idea of that.
So it's just speakers that you wear on your head then, basically? Or
So,
is it a little bit more?
so these are designed to have the wide sound stage as if you were listening to a pair of speakers in your house. As if you were listening to a pair of speakers in your house, but you've also got them very, very close to your ears. So you've got a pair of top quality, albeit small, speakers that are very, very close to your ears. So you're getting micro details that you wouldn't necessarily pick up with a pair of full-size speakers. But you're also getting the feeling of a set of speakers away from you, because you can move the ears.
Oh, sorry, you're on that one already.
You can
Apologies.
move them away from your ears, and you can move them in towards your ears if you want a more intimate sound. So we're going to now put these on,
So I'm just messing with the buttons, Trev, you carry on.
and if you think I looked strange before, now look at me.
Let's get him on the main camera, shall we? Let's hit him up with the main camera. Change to the main cam then. Push a button
Change
for the
to
main
main
camera.
cam, and we're now on main cam. Now what do you guys think of that? If you think I looked strange before,
Get
you can
arrested if you went
actually
out.
clearly see.
Looks like you've run into a push bike, Trev, and it's got attached to your head.
Yeah, you can actually clearly see my ears behind the ear speakers. And you see the way in which they've also, I don't know if you can get what the headband even looks like. I mean, what is that? So they rest in a unique way, even on your head. So they just rest just over the top of your ears. Pull your ears. They're actually pulling your ears forward. I don't know if Graham could get a feeling, but it's doing that to your ears as well. You're pushing your ears, the top of your earlobes outwards.
Nice.
It's madness. So I'm going to put my glasses on now, because I need to find things like, oh no, he's got enough natural light in here. So the serial number on these was, let's get the overhead cam on now. Can you see that? No, not
You won't be focused, Trev, because you're too high up. You're too close to the lens.
right. Well, what we've got there is the serial number, and it's 01376. So in other words, that was the 1376th model to come off of the first lathe that AKG made these for. And there were problems with the first batch of 5,000. So although the drivers and the way in which they were set up created a really good sound quality, because the drivers were slightly better quality than the next batch, which was serial numbers 5,000 to 12,000. The glue around the diaphragm of the drivers was prone under humidity to crack, and so this water-based glue that they used cracked. So I bought these off of a guy in Switzerland 4 years ago for €500, and when I got them, I found that on heavy bass tracks there would be a buzzing noise coming out of the left driver. I then sent them off to my friend Dylan to let him have a look at them, and we re-glued the driver diaphragms, and in the process of working on them, there's a very fine connection, or a connecting wire from the driver to some of the other electrics, and it snapped. And because they're so old, there are no spares available anywhere in the world. I did 6 months of research and asked every repair shop on the planet that I could find that had anything to do with AKG headphones, and nobody had any replacement drivers for them. So in the end, I went back to the man that actually invented them. His name's Heinz Renner, and he told me to send them back to his house in Italy. And he put the only pair of spare drivers anybody in the world knows of into these. So these were these have a pair of replacement drivers on them, which he matched, and then he did some sort of weird burn-in thing. So they have come back. My friend put new felt behind dampeners behind the drivers, and new drivers were put on them, and they've been re-glued properly, so they are as new. So there's probably not a pair in the world like these. So not only are these unique, and I'm hoping none of you have ever seen anything like this before, not only they're unique, but in terms of the fact that they've got new drivers on them and nobody has any spares available for them anywhere in the world, they're unique of unique. So in a way, these can sell for upwards of €2,000 at the moment in Europe, but in a way they're beyond that. They're completely priceless. And also the fact that I got the man that invented them, Heinz Renner, who now runs a company that's made an updated version of them called My Sphere headphones, and he actually fixed them for me. So what we'll do now is we'll try and plug them in and see if we can get them working for you, so as you can see what they sound like, because that would be quite something. So a scratchy head moment. Let's see what we can get working for you. So just talk amongst yourselves, as Graham would say, for a little while, and I'll get some more cables and things.
Here's a stash bag.
Yeah, I've got all sorts of connections to need to do now.
Right, we'll try to prepare. I'm just trying to download some photos of these radios that we're going to give away later on.
That's the first set of cables. So what we've got is I've nicked Graham's big headphone to small headphone cable, and then I'm going to go from unbalanced cable to balanced, and then that's going to go into the K1000 bass heavies. So it's all looking a bit weird and wonderful. Then that's going to go into a... Sorry, I can't keep this quite as clean and tidy as Graham keeps it, but that's a called Mojo, digital to analog converter, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. you can't really judge how good headphones are over YouTube. Now, this is just a bit of fun, but you can probably tell that some are different than others. But no, I mean, I totally agree with you on that. But this is sort of, think of this as more of a sort of a show and tell. You know, yeah, you guys can't be here to listen to these, so this is the closest we can do to give you an idea of what they sound like.
What are you going to do? Stick them on the microphone, are you?
Yeah, well, yeah, in due course, and that's what we're going to try and do. So that's plugged that in there, and that's got that there, and I'm just going to need to find another USB cable. I thought I'd put it in my kit, but
Preparation, see? Preparation, people.
I know. So, we're still on the workbench now, so I'm just going to I'm just going to plug this USB cable into a USB OTG cable.
OTG meaning
On the go, it stands for.
on the go.
Yeah, it's a USB protocol that allows you to run an external device through your phone.
Right.
You can use it for digital to analog converters, and you can use it for hard drives, you can use it for cameras, any USB device basically you can stick into some of the modern phones. It's done by using this OTG device. Now, I don't have the correct one, but this is what I found in my pack. I'll get it on the overhead cam a second. You see that? That's just a 50p OTG converter, and that will convert any USB cable into an OTG cable, and that costs 50 pence I think on eBay, and it works, so that's the main thing. Right, okay, switch this on. Right, and as you can see, it's recognised the device. I don't know if you saw that come up. I'm just going to press play now, and I'm hoping that some sound's going to come out. So we're going to go on to webcam again. Can I hear anything at all? Yes. These are the most inefficient ear speakers ever made. Right, here we go. The sound of the AKG K1000s.
Switch over to stereo, people. Excuse me.
Thank you. And now I'll show you what happens when I take the ear speakers in to the fullest extent. I'm hoping you guys can notice difference. See, we can't really hear what's happening. I'll pull them out to the widest. The sound of the AKG K1000 ear speakers. One of the rarest set of headphones in the world. So there we go. This go back onto the webcam. Yeah, so this set of headphones are the furthest back I go. And as I say, they are pretty much priceless now. There are so few remaining of them, and you know, the quality control on them wasn't great. The build quality on them wasn't great. So to get a pair in this condition, obviously with the original drivers, they're new drivers, but they are still the original drivers from 1989. And the lathes.
He likes the headphone hanger.
The headphone hanger, believe it or not, I got from IKEA for £1.76.
IKEA.
So I bought this 3 months ago, and it just works for big headphones, as you can see. And I just love the fact that it colour matches it. You know.
I think Theo was asking about quadraphonic headphones.
Oh my God. Well, I the Odyssey Mobius, of course, will play a 7.1 surround sound experience. By quadraphonic, you mean a surround sound quadraphonic experience, but
yeah, so
I don't personally know.
Hi-fi. If you've got quadraphonic hi-fi.
Yeah, and you plug in a pair of headphones, they'll probably be going through stereo headphone output socket, I would have thought, guys, but I'm not aware of anybody who knows anything about quadraphonic speakers. But yes, you can get Bluetooth and wireless technologies and DACs now that will change your sound from stereo, and it will upscale it to surround sound stuff. But quadraphonic headphones are beyond my knowledge. I've never heard of that. Oh, hang on a minute. Also have an old set of COS K2.2 quadraphone headphones. You need something with quadraphonic output to use them on, else plug one half of the headphones into a stereo amp headphone socket. That's incredible. Yeah, there weren't many quadraphonic albums made, were there? I think Tubular Bells was in quadraphonic sound, and Dark Side of the Moon, of course, would have been in quadraphonic sound, but there's not many around. That's incredible. That would be well worth listening to. So I've shown you, in my opinion, that's my favourite sound quality, the AKG K1000 bass heavy. And the bass heavy model is what everybody shouts about, as opposed to the bass light, which was numbers 5,000 to 12,000, and sadly they can never ever be made again because they destroyed the lathes for them once they wore out. They never made any more, and the blueprints of those have gone as far as I'm aware, so they'll never be able to make a set like that again, although the guy that designed them, Heinz Renner, now owns a company called MySphere, and MySphere are doing a much more elegant looking version of that that doesn't need quite so much amplification to run it properly, and they're selling at €4,500 now for one set of headphones. €4,500. So that was what the upgraded version of them cost, and I'm presuming that the markup on those headphones is no different than the markup on any other headphones, so the cost to produce those headphones must be quite phenomenal. So moving on, we'll start looking at some
I think it was just saying
more
the quad
headphones
have 2 input plugs.
Yeah, I mean, COS did some amazing stuff. You know, they were, and people are raving about a set of COS headphones available on a site called Massdrop at the moment, which are electrostatic. That's the cheapest, decent quality electrostatic speakers you can, earphones that you can get. They're full-size headphones, should I say, and they come with an electrostatic headphone amp, and I think they're under $600 on Massdrop, but of course it's an American site, so unfortunately you have to pay customs and you have to wait for them to come, and if something goes wrong, they're going back to America. It's just a bit of a nightmare. Right, so that's a pair of ancient headphones. Let's try and find you a pair of more up-to-date headphones.
Benji keeps mentioning Yamaha YH2.
Yamaha. I've got no Yamaha headphones. Yamaha are not something that we come across very much in the head-fi world, so I don't know much about them. But I mean, do you like them? What did you go through to get to Yamaha? Did you go through many, or did you pick them up at a bargain price? Or makes a change from the best of Beethoven. Yeah, that guy is just sort of like a pleasant Sunday acoustic sounding stuff that Graham will not get hammered for on the copyright people. So we're safe with Andy Neal as far as I'm concerned, and we'll keep playing him. And it's just pleasant, isn't it? It's Sunday stuff. Anyway, let's get you another set of headphones.
Battery's gone in RC's smoke alarm with the beeping. Can you hear beeping?
No. And again, I've got pretty good hearing. I'm slightly deafer than I used to be, but up to 15,000 I don't miss much, let me tell you. So if there's any alarms going off...
Sean was saying, what are your thoughts on new video game 3D vision and sound? On new video game 3D vision and sound.
New video game 3D vision and sound. I'm not much of a gamer, but the guys are using some of the latest developments in surround sound technology to try and get them a step ahead of the competition when they're doing these online game challenges. So they're using more and more sophisticated headphones which will pinpoint the sound, because obviously the sound from a set of computer speakers is there, but the sound from a set of headphones is there, and they're saying that they can get to places before other people can get to the places, because they're hearing the sounds, they're hearing left, right, up, down, center, and they're managing to get ahead of the competition using sophisticated surround sound technology and really decent sounding headphones. And I don't disbelieve them, but I'm not much of a gamer, I'm afraid. I used to do a bit of gaming, but it's music for me all the way now. I've just got no time for gaming. Much as we'd love to do a bit of that. I mean, we got something as archaic as a Nintendo Wii, which we've been meaning to use for the last 6 months, but we've just been too busy, myself and the wife. So yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. But yeah, that's what some of the real pros are using. The guys that win in competitions are using really sophisticated technologies now, and the headphones are helping them for that. So the next one I'm going to show you is, I don't know if you guys are going to enjoy this, but I enjoy tinkering as much as you guys do, but my knowledge of electronics is very little. But these are a set of £1,200 retail Sennheiser HD800s. They're amongst the best, we call them mid-price headphones now, £1,200, believe it or not. They're amongst the best mid-price set of headphones that you can get. And you think, why would somebody spend £1,200 on a pair of headphones? Why not just buy a set of speakers? Now, 6 years ago, I was living out of a motorhome, and the acoustics in that motorhome for speakers, believe you me, were not suitable. And a set of headphones does not need a decently set up acoustic room treatment. So a set of world-class headphones, which these are world-class, so by that I mean I would say they're in the top 20 commercially available headphones in the world, in my opinion.
Frankie's saying they look like washing up bowls for your head.
Well, a lot of people say they look like you know, something off of Doctor Who, so let's put them on my head and do it properly. They're huge. The drivers in them are huge, but when I bought them I had a problem with them, and the sound was almost perfect to me, to my ears, but there was some bass presence missing. Let's get you onto the main cam and let's move some of this stuff away. But there was some bass missing, and I started doing some research, and I realized that there was some harshness in the upper frequency range, which is, I know somebody said something about you get to a certain age and is there any point in you don't appreciate high fidelity sound in the same way as you would when you were a youngster. And certainly I think one's ears become more prone to really finding it irritating in the upper to mid-range frequency range. And if we come back to the main cam, these had a problem with that for me, and I found the sound just sort of slightly grating. And I did some research and I found that inside here,
stand in the way, try to push a stand back out the shop.
okay, so inside the ear cup, this shouldn't be here, this should be a dust cover over them. I've removed that to make them sound more open. But inside here, thank you, thanks bruv, should be metal. But over the metal I did some experimenting with some polyester felt, and I covered the entire ring area with polyester felt and double-sided sticky tape. And also underneath this driver protector cover is an O-ring in the middle, and I got that from a guy in France who just made a plastic ring with double-sided tape that fitted perfectly inside there. So a lot of the ringing that was coming from the metal driver shell and the O-ring inside the middle of the center of the driver were alleviated. That raised the bass level of them and cut out this just grating quality to the sound, but I kept the huge sound stage of the Sennheiser HD 800s.
So what you're saying is you doctored a pair of £1,200 headphones?
That took some courage.
I bet.
Guys, it takes some courage to doctor a pair of £1,200 headphones, but you know, we're a tight band of guys on HeadFi, and as I was doing it, I knew that my friend up in London, Dylan, was attempting the same thing. And when I looked at it in terms of the potential damage you could do to it, you're not talking getting a soldering iron out to this thing. You're talking about sticking something on with double-sided sticky tape that you could take off if it was wrong. And in fact I did it 6 or 7 times before I got the sound that I wanted. So a guy on the internet had done it, and he'd used much thicker felt and he'd put them on, and as far as he was concerned they were wonderful. And I did the same thing, and I found exactly the same felt that he used, and I put them on, and I was really disappointed because to me they just sounded like a pair of Beats headphones. So in other words, Beats headphones, they just sounded really thuddy bass and, you know, like really artificially accentuated uppers and mid-range and after the 6th try, I got it right.
So we've got some more questions for you here, Trav.
Yeah.
We've got Victor saying, what would you consider as a good headphone testing track when going into somewhere like HMV or something to listen? Well, he's saying basically, what would you consider a good headphone testing track when testing ones in HMV, etc.? He uses Dallas 1 PM by Saxon as his test tune.
Saxon, wow.
So what would you take it in to play to test some headphones out there?
Because I review headphones, I've got to the point now that I've reviewed so many headphones that I can no longer cope with having just 1 or 2 tracks, because I found that a lot of my spare time, because I work full time, and I found that a lot of my spare time was taken up reviewing headphones and using 1 or 2 test tracks to review all these headphones. And I was losing my mind basically, because I thought, well, what is the point in doing this? Because we like headphones because we like music, surely. So in the end, what I've done is I just put on the next track, because to me the music is more important, and getting fun out of the music is more important. So I listen to basically random tracks that I have recorded myself. I've got 1.5 gigs worth of music that I've ripped off of the CDs that I own, and they're pretty much entirely random, other than here today, where we are worried about the copyright guys that are keeping an eagle eye on this boy.
Well, hopefully that's answered that, Victor. We've got Paul Collins saying hello.
Hi, Paul.
He's been thinking about buying some Bose headphones to go with the Bose sound system he has.
Right.
I'd like to know your thoughts on them. Bose headphones.
Bose headphones. Bose aren't a part of Head-Fi, Paul. I've got nothing against Bose headphones. And if you like the sound of your Bose sound system, you're probably going to like your Bose headphones. All I'm saying to you is, think about this. You are paying for the brand name of Bose just the same as you're going to be paying for the brand name of Beats. You know, those names alone carry another £100 on the price tag. So if they're under 100 quid, I wonder whether they're really worth anything at all. But I mean, my ears say that Bose, I can achieve a better sound through stuff that's available on the market from people like Hi-Fi Man and people like Sennheiser. I mean, they're hi-fi headphones, whereas Bose and Beats and Skull Candy are appealing to the mass market. So they've got the biggest part of the market, and they do it by having a consumer sound which is rich and deep in bass and has very clear and quite accentuated higher frequency. So the sound is very much like that, a V-shaped. The sort of sound that I prefer is like that, much more level, but with a slight lift where my old ears are struggling, and a slight lift in the bass for certain tracks and for certain headphones is beneficial.
So basically, try a few out before you settle for a Bose then.
Yeah, keep an open mind. I mean, you might prefer, because your ears are now used to that sound from Bose, and I've got a Bose sound dock that Graham gave me, and it is absolutely incredible. It really is amazing. But the Bose headphones I've heard, you know, honestly, I've been disappointed with. You know, even compared to a set of over-ear headphones that might be half the price, but my ears have now got used to a certain type of sound.
So Sean is asking about the actual headphone plugs, I believe. He said, does it matter what input plug makes to how the headphones perform? Does it matter what input plug makes to how the headphones?
There's a big school of thought about balanced versus unbalanced. Basically, balanced headphone sockets are all the rage at the moment, and I think that some or most of that may be marketing on the part of the manufacturers, who are just trying to get more and more sophisticated designs out there. I think that balanced output sockets have been around for years and years in the live audio industry, and they create a higher volume. The reasoning behind that is something that I could look up, and I have looked up, and I knew probably 6 months ago, but I can't explain to you in easy language. But basically, the volume is higher, so the sound sounds better, because psychologically, if your ears hear something that's slightly louder, they think it sounds better. Your brain says that's better. That's an improvement. So balanced versus unbalanced, you'd have to volume match it, and then I'm not sure.
I think he's more talking about the actual physical plug on the end, like the gold-plated ones or silver-plated or something like that. I think that's what he means, isn't it?
The Nutrix plug versus just the normal plugs. We could go into this debate forever and a day. I'm not sold on cables themselves making a huge difference in the sound, but many people are, and the plug on the end of it is the last part of the equation. But I suspect that a properly made plug on the end with a good contact would be almost impossible to tell apart from an expensive one from a cheap one in a blind testing situation. And it's something that I daren't get into that, because that is a road that you could go down, and you could spend thousands just on stuff like that. It's frightening.
Theo was saying that high-end headphones take quite a few hours of being used before they settle in, just like the old days of running a new car engine in.
Yeah, so this is the burn-in debate, which runs hard and fast and long and is never ever ending. So I spoke to the gentleman, Alex Grell, who designed and made the HD800s at an audio show. So he is the chief engineer at Sennheiser for high-end products. He made the Sennheiser Orpheus, which is the world's most expensive headphone that sells for 60,000 euros. 60,000 euros for a set of headphones. And I said to Axel that when I got those headphones, they sounded awful. For the first hour I had them, I could not believe that they could possibly be worth £1,200. And then I just left them on an iPod rather, for 50 hours. And then I came back to them and I put them on again, and the sound to my ears had changed and was far more pleasant. And I said to him, surely that proves that to my ears there is such a thing as burn-in. And he said, Trevor, there is no such thing as burn-in. I do not know what you've heard. He said maybe they'd been in the container for a long time and they got cold. I think that there's a mixture of all sorts of things happening, and I think that in some ways these might sound different than they sounded when they were new. I mean, obviously I've modded them anyway, but the you've got your ear cups, for instance. Now they can change, they can soften over time, and where you put them on your head, even by 1 or 2 millimeters, will change the sound, because the sound is so close to your ears that moving it very slightly will make a difference to the sound. And also your brain needs time to adjust. Graham was telling me about a pair of varifocals that he had. When he first put them on, he thought, my God, I'm going blind. But after persevering with them for weeks, his brain said, I can actually see with these properly. And your brain does the same with sound. So there's burn-in, possibly, arguably, debatably to do with the ear cups around them and the cushioning around them. There's also what your brain is doing, which is saying to you, actually, I'm starting to adjust to the differences between this set of headphones as opposed to the other set of headphones I might have owned. And there's the fact that you do micro adjustments when you put on a set of headphones, because the sound is so close to your head, you don't realize that that has altered the sound very, very subtly. And also, you don't listen at the same volume every time to the same track, and different tracks of different volumes. And as I've said to you before, the amount of volume that you have makes a difference to how your brain perceives the sound, because the louder the volume, the more your brain says, wow, this is great.
There's more questions on there. Look. There's a good
More
one from
questions.
Steve there.
Right, I'm looking through some questions here. Head-fi, new word for me. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, they've been around for a long time now. Disturb the sound of silence is incredible. I mean, when I first heard that, I was almost drawn to tears. It's an absolutely incredible track, and even live, I've seen the YouTube of that live, and I encourage anybody to watch that. I mean, it's jaw-dropping. So that's such a great track to try something like this. I mean, certainly for sound stages and stuff. Steve says, what do you think of audiophiles? Yeah, there's a big debate about audiophiles on the internet raging at the moment. People like Steve Guttenberg, who's called the audiophiliac and stuff. Audiophiles are people that get fun from dealing with audio products. We're not experts. We're just having fun. I mean, I'm a professional at my job, but I'm definitely not a professional at this. I mean, you've seen, I think, from that. Yeah, Ozzy Jean by Jean-Michel Jarre was incredible. I've had some of the most amazing experiences at my friend's house. He builds amplifiers, and he builds them now so big, his power amplifiers are so big that they have to go on a cabinet with wheels. And I listen to Oxygen through a custom-made digital to analog converter going through a power amplifier, and with my AKG K1000 ear speakers, incredible. So battery makers, supposedly with speakers you could soften a stiff cone by vigorously applying 60 Hertz to them. It supposedly worked with the speaker's outer edges and allowed more bass. Well, that's something I wasn't aware of. You know, and it would be great if we could find where that came from. You know, there are some crazy people out there with some crazy theories. And an audiophile is great, in my opinion. I'd be proud to be called an audiophile, as long as it doesn't make me appear to be anything other than I am, which is somebody that's tested a lot of headphones, reviewed a lot of headphones, and has just got an interest in headphones and audio products. I don't know every audio product on the market, and what's good or bad for me might not be good or bad for everybody. And there's always that caveat out there. Any audiophile that says you must buy this because I think it's great is talking crap, because you need to try it for yourself, or you need to have some means of being able to send it back if it's not what that guy said. Because what that guy said is to his ears, to the music he's listening to, and he hasn't heard every set of headphones or earphones on the market. And if he says he has, he's talking rubbish, because it's not possible. Even if you did it professionally, it wouldn't be possible to listen to every new product coming out on the market. It's too big. Ravo's Bolero, yeah, Graham's given me, I think on vinyl alone I've probably got 5 or 6 versions of that. Ravo's Bolero would not be a good test for HMV headphones, guys. No, not at the start. You can't hardly hear it, and in HMV it is way too loud to even think about Ravel's Bolero. It is a passion, yeah. I think anybody that calls themselves an audiophile is passionate about audio stuff. The problem comes with a lot of people, and I accept the criticism, is when the product overtakes the music that's being played through it, and I think that is a danger and a trap that many of us have fallen into. But going back to that, I want to play you some music now, and so these are my own modded unique Sennheiser HD800s, and we'll play them. And I don't know at what point Graham wants to jump back in, because I'm sure I've been keeping you long enough on this. But let's just quickly give you the Sennheiser HD800s. And again, you will never hear a set of Sennheiser HD800s like this, because they are not like the new version, because I've modded them to my own needs. Turn the sound down, because the sound is way too loud. So I'm just turning the sound down on my DAC. Let's go back. Turn it up slightly. So sit back and relax and listen to some more Andy Neal. Are we on stereo? Guys, I think I've taken up enough of your time. This is just a little taster of the road that I've gone down, and you know, I salute you guys that are able to look at circuit boards and fix stuff that is broken, because there's too much stuff chucked in too many skips that looks and sounds beautiful. And for your skills and your passion in being able to restore vintage stuff like Graham is extremely good at, gifted at, is a dying art, and it needs to be kept going. There's room for the modern world, but there also needs to be room for you guys, and so I have so much respect for you. Thanks for allowing me to take up so much of your time. And I wish everybody luck in this draw, because the stuff that's up for prizes looks absolutely beautiful. So thanks very much, and I hope to be seeing you again real soon. So I'm going to start clearing Graham's workbench off, which I've absolutely destroyed here, and I will take you back to Graham now.
Well, thanks, Trav.
Thank you.
Don't forget to look Trevor up on YouTube if you've not already. Then look up Headphones Hi-Fi Reviews, and that's Trevor's website if you want to see more of his reviews and some of the bits of kit he's actually got. Hopefully he's going to leave me lots of things though.
Yeah?
No, as long as you leave me my headphone adapter, that's fine.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, you can have that back. And it's great, it did the job, didn't it? You know, you just don't need $100 stuff.
No. Not at all. Don't forget your Guinness, though.
No.
Well, there you go, people. That's Trevor from Headphone Hi-Fi Reviews. Just pop his site name, or his YouTube name up there. It's going a bit floppy. Look, I've been bitten on the side of the head last night by a fly. Lovely stuff. So yeah, a little bit different for you people, and hopefully it gives you a good insight into headphones. As I say, I never really got Trevor's love of headphones. Never really got it, but certainly listening to his headphones compared to the stuff I usually listen to, is a different world altogether. Where have I been? I've been sat over there. I've been put in the corner, I was. Yes, so there you go. That's Trevor from Headphone Hi-Fi Reviews. So, I need to get your
Thank you, bro.
drink sorted there.
Thank you. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for that.
Welcome, Trev. Good to have you. Let's see if we can get my iPad up then. Let's plug that back in again. Hi, Tony E. Looking for Trev's YouTube channel now. I can probably copy and paste it into the chat. Let me just see if I can do that for you a minute. Don't want to touch that. See if I can post that in for you. So, did I watch one of Trevor's videos earlier? No. Looks like I was mad with Johnny Cash yesterday. Yeah, it is quite difficult to find, isn't it, Trevor's channel, for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let me just get it up for you.
You can also go onto Geek Central, which will give them on Facebook.
Yeah, if we type in your name, it doesn't really come up with you, Trev.
No.
Which is a bit strange, isn't it?
Security settings and stuff on my profile.
Yeah.
So whether.
No, that shouldn't make a lot of difference.
I can always
Link
go on.
is in the description. Yeah, I did find it earlier, Trev, but I can't find it now.
Okay.
I'll go down to my subscriptions. You're in there.
Yeah.
Headphones, Hi-Fi Reviews. Okay, people, coming in now. There you go. That should get you on Trev's channel.
Thank you.
For all things headphone. We've done some hi-fi stuff as well, Trev, haven't we, I think?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, this full-size stuff is just incredible as well, and I've got some amazing full-size stuff. So
yeah. No one puts Cruncher in the corner. No one puts Cruncher in the corner.
Oh God.
Yes. Well done, Bill. Yeah, it's just something a little bit different to listen to, isn't it? Or watch. Okay, let me get myself sorted, and we'll get this this draw underway, I think. So what I need to do first of all is go to the video for Sunday Live a couple of weeks ago and just make sure we've got no new comments on there. So final warning, people, if you've not entered then you're going to be running out of time to do it, because I'm about to do the draw for the first radio. So let me just get to my video for there. See if we've got any new comments. Now I have got some pictures and some video that I can show you. I'm not sure if we're going to get the audio through off of the iPad though. It doesn't look like my iPad's connected to the right Wi-Fi, so let's just sort that out a minute. Actually no, it should be. Yeah, it's the wrong Wi-Fi. Let's pop the decent Wi-Fi on. Let's just forget that network. Let's go on this one. So bear with me. We'll get there in the end. How do you enter? James, you need to basically, with, I don't know if Paul wants to type it in again, you need to be in the UK, James, and you need to put a keyword in the comments for the video 2 weeks ago. And the URL for the video, let's just pause this a minute. Right. So bear with me, people. I'm just giving you a bit more information here. Let's paste that in. So that's the video you need to look at. You dare not enter, no room for any other stuff. You are leaving it a little bit late, James, but you know, I'll give you a chance a minute while we're yapping. Hi Mike, you need to leave it in the comment of the video, Mike. I've put too big a message here. Yeah, I can't put it all in the message. So basically you need to be subscribed to 3 different people, but you need to go back to that video, Mike, from 2 weeks ago that I've just posted the link to, and in the comments you need to put Rick1, and you need to put a separate comment for each radio. So if you want a Rick1, if you want an RFM3 black or an RFM3 grey, you need to pop it in there. And sadly, Bill, it isn't open to the US because customs charges and postage, etc., is going to make it crazy. These guys are donating a radio and they're donating the postage as part of that as well. So we can't really expect them to spend out £20–30 on postage for something that they're giving away for nothing. So I've just put a massive comment in there and I'm just trying to delete it. So again, what we probably do is you need to email me, and the winner, I'll put my email address up in a minute when we do the draw. The winner, email me their details and I'll pass them on to Sean or Paul. It's probably easier to do it all from one person. It is, Doug, sadly, it does mean that you can't take part in some of these things, and some of the guys in the US, to be fair, have done some great giveaways, but not to the UK, so, and you can understand why. What's that? Should have read a bit of, not git of. Yeah, I think, well, you won the last one, Theo, didn't you? It's entirely up to you, mate. There's 3 radios on the go there. Right, so let me just go back to that video then. Let's just refresh the pardon me, refresh the comments. So we have got 3 more. So sadly, I will have to delete your comment there, Bill. Apologies for that. Trying to think if anyone else has entered that's not eligible. Paul has entered, so I'm going to delete that one, Paul. I know they're lovely radios, to be fair. Anybody would be proud to own one of these. Yeah, Paul. Sadly, I will have to delete your comment. I think Tony said that he didn't want them. Where are we? Yeah, Tony said that he doesn't want them, but he's actually put in the comments the radios. Shane's entered those 2 weeks ago. Yeah, well done, Shane. Got your entry there, mate. Afternoon, Andy. So yeah, Tony, I'm going to have to delete your comment as well, because you said you don't want them. So because you want to leave them to someone else, you've already got Rick RFM 3s. So I'm going to delete that one as well, just so as you're not in that. We've got 3 new comments. Let's see who they're from. That's Paul Collins. James, you'll need to put RFM 3, mate. You need to put RFM 3. Not just RFM grey. You'll need to put RFM 3. And Paul Collins, you'll need to just put in the names of the radios you'd like to be in with a chance of winning, Paul, if you would. We certainly have had a lot of activity on that. There's a lot of people that are wanting to win one of those radios. Yes, we're going to see the pictures before the draw, Sean. What I'll do is I'll put the slideshow and the video up of each one first, and then we'll do the draw for that particular radio. So it's your last chance then, people, to actually do this, because I'm about to do the draw. And don't forget that you need to be subscribed as well to the channel. Right, James, yeah, I've got your new comment in there. Good stuff. Let's just refresh that. I got another one. 3, let's prove that. Okay. So I've got new entries from Spanky, Victor McCaig, James T, and Paul's not actually put it in there. Paul Collins, if you want to enter, mate, you just need to put a comment in with the radio that you'd like to win. So it's Rick 1, RFM 3 grey, RFM 3 black. Is this restricted to the continental UK? I would think so, Andy. England, Scotland, Wales. Really, just think about the postage. If you live somewhere really remote, like one of the islands that they've got to fly at you by a helicopter, then that might be a bit pricey for the the owner. So yeah, Andy, you have already entered, haven't you? Right. Andrew's put Hacker Sovereign 4. Sadly, that's not in the draw, Andrew. Andrew Alsva. Okay, so bear in mind it is Cody's and the Man Cave Workshop that are actually in this. NL Canada. Yeah, yeah, Canada. You're thinking of the British Empire. It's Great Britain, the United Kingdom. Okay, so final refresh. Let's get you onto the iPad a minute. So let's have a look. Right, let's get rid of my banner, Benji's banner. I'll find my iPad screen now. There we go. So as you can see, this is all the comments, and there is a lot of comments for this this giveaway. And I need to go. Let me just come back off of that for a second. Let me just get into my messenger and we'll play you. I think what we'll do is we'll do the I'll do them in the order that they got sent to me, the pictures and the pictures and the videos. So I'm gonna raffle. Well, it is a raffle, I suppose, isn't it? We'll do the draw first of all for the RFM3 in grey from Paul Cody's. So this is the radio. I think if we scroll through, you should be able to see the pictures that Paul's done for me on this. So this is the grey RFM3. Perfectly working, absolutely pristine and totally overhauled by Paul. That's the back. Front. Sides. Really, that's lovely. Look at that. So let's just get to the video. I don't know if you can actually hear that. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any audio coming through with that. In fact, I can't hear the audio here because it's muted. No, I'm playing it off of the iPad, Sean, and for some reason this HDMI cable doesn't pick up the audio. I was hoping to download them and keep them on my system, but it won't let me download them for some reason. Yeah, sorry about that, but the only way I could do it would be to stick one of the cameras on the screen of the thing. I'll unplug it in a minute. You can listen to the audio coming out of it. Yeah, it gives you an idea of what it looks like. It really is pristine. Okay. So let's find the video to start with. So let's go to my video manager. I'll do all this live so as we can we know there's nothing untoward going on. So this is the video here. Let's click the share. And we need to copy this link here. Will it let me copy it? Alright, so copy that. I'm going to put it in the random YouTube comment picker. So I'm going to paste that link in, fetch the video. So we're going to do sounds like Mrs. Cruncher's back. We're going to do RFM3 grey. Continue. Okay. So looking at that, we've got 9 comments available. Are we ready, people? Are we ready to find a winner?
Drum roll.
Drum roll. It should pick it up anyway. It don't, as long as you've spelt it right and you put grey in it, it'll do it. So here we go. Well, would you believe it? James T has only just entered.
Oh no, how about that?
And he's won the RFM3 in grey.
Well done, James.
So there you are, James. Well done, mate. That is a cracking radio. Then my email address to send your details on. Hang on, that's the wrong one. That's one. Please make sure as well, James, that you are subscribed to all 3 of us. You're subscribed to myself, Radiocruncher, you're subscribed to Cody's and the Man Cave Workshop. If you send me your details, James, to that email address, I'll get that over to Paul to get it in the post for you. So congratulations, mate. Well done. Well done. There we are. First one done. First one done. Okay. So we need to just refresh that. Okay, we ready for the next one? Are we ready for the next one? Let's get the next lot of pictures up, and we'll go with Sean's, if I can find it. Done me some pictures of the Rick 1. It'll be next. So this is from the Man Cave Workshop. Sean has kindly donated this radio, which he's restored. So here we go. This is the Roberts Rick 1 from the 1960s, I believe. Really nice. Sean's made a lovely job of that. We saw it live here 2 weeks ago. That's just about the video size. So let me just get back onto my chat and we'll get the video up for you. Again, I'm not going to have the sound, I don't think. Unless it's amazingly suddenly sorted itself out. So I'll play both the same back on both of these videos in a minute when I unplug the iPad. So here goes the video that Sean's done for us. Make sure we're in decent quality. Oh no, hang on. Scrap that. Sean did me another one in a better resolution actually. Here we go. There we go. So let me just get back onto the comment picker. So we need a keyword filter. Rick 1. Okay, let's just do that again because it didn't like the way I put Rick 1 in. It wants a space. It said I've only got one comment. There's something not right here. We've got more than one person for the Rick 1, definitely. Let me just double check this URL a minute. Yeah, it's definitely the right one. OCK7N. Ah, I put it Rick 1 all as one word, didn't I? But people have put various things. They put uppercase, lowercase. Let's just do it in lowercase then. Because there's a good 10 comments on this, definitely. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Let's just try that then. Oh, thank you. I don't need them yet. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Let's just try that again. I think that's a good idea of George is there. Let's just type in RIC. We're getting there, people. No, that doesn't work, George. Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, it does work. There we go. 9 comments. Are we ready? Are we ready, people? Drum roll. have a winner. Lee Lock. Well, Lee, you know my email address. Is Lee with us? Lee's followed the channel for many, many years, so well done, Lee. Great stuff, mate, if you're there. Lee, come in if you're still there, mate. He was there a while ago. There you go. Earth to Lee, are you in there? Oh, hang on. Chucking my mouse about now. There you go. 2 down, 1 to go. Let's reload him.
You look to have had a delivery of some more beer here, Graham.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Stick him in me trug.
You run out, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm just doing the draws here a minute, so.
Okay, yeah.
I've had more beer delivery. Okay. Next one up then. So we want RFM3 black. Nine comments for that one as well. But first of all, we need to show you the pictures, don't we? Of course I do. We need to show you the pictures, people. Let's get the pictures up. This one is a real beauty as well. This one's had my hands in it as well, as you're probably aware. Being I stole the chip out of Paul's stole the chip out of Paul's other one. So here we are. There's a black RFM3. Again, it's like a brand new radio. Amazing job, Paul, that is. Oh, we're back on the grey one now. So that's a black RFM3. Let's just find you the video that Paul did on this one as well. So here we go. Again, I sadly haven't got the audio. I don't know why it doesn't pull the audio through. Let me just have a quick check on... Get off. No, still no audio. Sorry about that. Right, let's play that for you. It is a nice Nice radio, very nice. I think quite a few people liked the black one. Yeah, very nice. Pulls their demo in it. All of these radios work, all three of them. So no issues there. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Sadly, I don't know why. Perhaps I should have got you both to email me the videos rather than post them on Messenger, because I can't pull them off of Messenger, sadly. There we go. Look at the dog down there. Right, so let's get on to the comment picker. So it's loaded up. Another drum roll. Here we go. Push the button. And the winner is O Walker. So O Walker, whoever that is. So O Walker, if you're watching, you've just won yourself the black RFM3. Once again, the email that you need is that one. Obviously, if these aren't claimed, then we'll just draw them again next Sunday. So I'm not sure who O Walker is, but well done, O Walker. You want whatever the dog's on. So there we are, O Walker. Yeah, great job, you guys that did these, Paul and Sean. Really lovely. So what I'll do is I'll unplug my iPad now, because we've done all three draws. So congratulations to the winners. And it's recorded on the video anyway, so we should be fine contacting them. I can send them messages through the comments section anyway. So what was I going to do? I was going to play back these videos, wasn't I? So let's go with Paul's black one then. That's O Walker's just won. I'll just adjust the overhead cam in a minute, and I'll pop you onto the screen if there's not too much glare. Bear with me. There we go. I knew we'd get you there somehow. So let's turn the volume up on this. Idiot. It's all very well, isn't it, doing that, but I do have to actually switch that camera on. Try again, shall we? Duh.
Starting from just £15,995 and approved used caravans from as little as £7,495. And
in stereo as well. Still on stereo. Sorry, I kicked the bucket.
There you go. That's the first one. And the next one.
Classic FM.
Ever since I left the city, it's quite cool. I think, yeah, I kind of live it with them.
Let's just get you Sean's video. Right, just line that up in the camera. And this is Sean's Rick 1.
Getting in playing without unsettling what they had before and the balance in the side. Sometimes I think Gomez playing.
And Atalanta, I heard Mina say that Chelsea might have the most difficult job of the British clubs, but I mean, Raf, Manchester City's group is the kind.
Okay guys, this is the Rick 1 radio in the giveaway competition, and if you've entered, I wish you the best of luck guys. Cheers from the Man Cave Workshop.
There you go, people. The videos. Apologies that I didn't show those earlier, but at least the lucky winners will know what's arriving now and that they do work. So there you are. How are we doing for time anyway? 4 o'clock. Yeah.
And all's well.
All's well. So let's just catch up with the chat then. Paul said he enjoyed the whole experience. Thanks to me and Sean for making it all possible, and thanks to you, Paul and Sean, for offering the radios to give away. And I know since you've been working on them that let's just let me turn that microphone around a bit. Working on them, I'm sure you really didn't want to part with those in the end. But yeah, they're Nigel's saying 3 lovely radios, well finished, looking like new. Well done to the restorers and Graham for hosting. You're welcome. So I've already had an email by the looks of it from James. Yeah, James has already sent me a message on the RFM3 with his address, so I'll forward that on to Paul. James, well done, mate. So, do we want to look at anything else? I need a quick comfort break, so maybe Trevor can come back in and answer a few questions a minute.
Yeah, sure, yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely, yeah.
I'm just going to have a wee and say hello to my missus who's just got in. Trev, can I answer any other hi-fi? One thing
All right,
I was going to ask
Yes, Graham.
was, why did you have
Yeah.
a box in between your phone and the headphones? Why didn't you plug them straight in?
Right, okay.
That's
yeah.
a good one to answer.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're going to go away from headphones now then. So Graham's asking me a question as why did I put a box in between my phone and the headphones? What on earth was that all about? Well, that was a digital to analog converter, and it was also a headphone amplifier. When you're using big headphones, then you know they need an awful lot more power to drive them. They need a lot more current to drive them, and also the digital to analog converter, which is the means by which modern equipment is converted from a series of zeros and ones into a wave file that is the same as what you'd be listening from for a record on your Roberts radios and your hackers. It needs a digital to analog converter, and the ones in the phones are adequate, but they're not excellent. And the box that I put, the Cord Mojo, will drive 2 sets of earphones, headphones, in-ear monitors, ear speakers even, at the same time. And they've got a powerful headphone amplifier and a top quality digital to analog converter. So the difference between digital and analog, Graham wanted me to explain to you guys, who probably know far better than me, is simply that analog is radios, record players, tape players. They're direct sound, so the waveform doesn't go through any type of conversion other than what it hears. It transmits up through the stylus or the tape head and comes straight out the speakers through the plugs into the amplifier. But digital is a conversion of the zeros and ones that are transcribed on, and they're converted using computers and chips into a sound that we can hear. So digital and analog, and many people prefer the sound of an analog and many people prefer the sound of digital. But if you've got top quality on both or either, then they're going to sound great. So I've got digital and I've got analog equipment. I've got digital to analog converters, and I wanted to talk to you guys about hi-fi and what I think is good about hi-fi and what I think is bad about hi-fi. I think that what is bad in the hi-fi industry is the price that the top quality stuff is commanding, and I don't think, particularly looking at what you guys do once you've got your circuit boards in front of you, you know, it's basically a lot of hi-fi equipment is just a box with a load of electronics in it. And I think that the hi-fi industry tries to make it something more than that, and I wonder really whether it is more than that or it's simply a box with a load of components in it, of which you guys fix when it either gets dropped or neglected or otherwise is poorly made and gets broken. So I think there is a law of diminishing returns in the hi-fi world, and I think that's why the word audiophile has come from the fact that many of us have started realizing that something that costs £10,000 isn't necessarily 10,000 times better than something that does the same job that costs £1, or does the same job and costs £100.
Are we still on the audiophile thing?
So audiophile is about that search for trying to find the cost to performance ratio. There's no easy answers for any of it, which is why probably all the questions you've asked me so far I haven't really answered fully, because there are no real definite answers to any of it. But I think the man is back now, and he probably has stuff to do. I can see there's still 1 or 2 radios left here to probably either take apart or talk about, so I'll take you back to him.
Right. Cheers, Trev. It's just standing in. Well, all that racket with the dogs is the dogs have actually gone out for a walk, and the female Labrador, Maddie, is mad, basically. She goes absolutely berserk when it's time to go for a walk. So let's just forward that on to Paul. I'll remember it. Okay. So James, your email's gone over to Paul. Who else have we got there? Someone. So we've got someone else. Have we got someone from? Is it China or Japan? How many radios do you have, Trevor? And do you listen to radio? Paul is asking.
Yes, I have a Roberts radio.
Yeah, he's got a Roberts radio that he's brought to me that needs fixing, because I gave it to him.
And I've broken it.
He's broken it,
I've
basically.
Broken it. And I listen to, I tend to listen, I'm afraid, to internet radio like Classic FM and what's the Absolute Radio? Absolute Radio is one of my favourites.
Absolute Radio and Classic
internet,
FM?
But not DAB. I haven't really got DAB.
You haven't got a DAB?
Nah.
I thought you did have a DAB radio.
Well, I have
from
got
Mum's.
a DAB radio. Yeah, I have, but I don't tend to use
you don't
DAB
listen
radio
to it.
to listen to it. I tend to use my phone, and listen to it through my phone, and then plug it into other stuff.
Lovely job. There you go. So hi, Harin from Korea. Very good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us all the way from Korea. I don't think we've had anyone from Korea on before. Courier. Well, you know what I mean. So, what else do we want to do then? Spanky's talking in foreign languages now. So Brett's saying that he agrees with you. Some people will never hear music as it should be due to the cost restriction.
Yeah, but you need to go into the second-hand market, guys. You know, and also, cost is not always the best indicator of quality, unfortunately.
Mm. And George is, I don't know, you may have already answered this, Trev, but George is just saying, do you find the hi-fi crowd to be elitist or snobby?
I think the marketing behind it and the people who run the shows at the companies tend to be a bit elitist and snobby because they hang out with each other, but I think the actual guys going to the shows are far more approachable than people think. And certainly the headphone crowd, we all know each other, you know, and I can speak to people that are the chief engineers of these companies. I can speak to the chief executives of these companies, and they don't put themselves on a pedestal, and they don't talk down to me at all. And if they do, you know, they know there's a danger that the word will get around that they're assholes. And you know, when you're talking about, you know, the head-fi community, you know, they get laughed at. So they're very respectful and very humble, really. Most, I would say 99% of them. But there is an elitism around the marketing to it, and you know, people try and hide behind loads of facts and figures, and a lot of it is nonsense.
Okay, did you get Rob was asking, Volve headphone amp, yes or no?
Volve headphone amp, eh?
Yeah, you can get Volve headphone amps, can't you? I'm sure you can.
Yes. What have I got any Volve? You've got a Volve headphone amp that I gave you.
Yeah, that little one downstairs.
And the Volves colour the sound and can make the sound quite softer. And it takes
Right.
us back to the days of, you know, listening to record players and stuff. So Volve headphone amplifiers, the top headphone amplifier in the world, the most expensive headphone amplifiers in the world are the Hi-Fi Man Shangri-La and the Sennheiser HA1 headphone amplifier.
Right.
Both are Volve headphone amplifiers. So that says
There you
quite
go
something.
then. And Theo's saying, do the ceramic type headphones require more power to drive them?
Ceramic.
Do the ceramic type headphones require more power to drive them?
I don't know the answer to that, but
No?
I know that there's a big movement amongst the major players in the headphone world. They're making products that are thousands of pounds, but they're making them easier and easier to drive, so you don't need headphones amplifiers for them. And the reason for that is because people are going more and more towards portable products. So
Right.
they want to just be able to plug their phone in, their headphones into their mobile phone and listen to it through their mobile phone, so as they can do all their streaming and their YouTube and stuff through the mobile phones. So people, I mean, I've got a set of headphones out there that are £3,500, and you can plug them into a mobile phone and they will sound fantastic. They just don't
Right.
need much driving. So the movement, I don't know about the particular types of materials and how much more they take to run, but certainly the movement will go out there to make stuff easier and easier and more flexible, so it will be going more wireless and more that they are easier and easier to drive, but it won't make them any cheaper, people.
Right, okay, there you go. Spanky said he's not sure all this pure hi-fi stuff. I used to work with a guy and his dad was PW Belt, who used to charge a fortune for specially treated stickers or paper clips or cable ties. Google it.
Oh my god.
Mumbo jumbo or not.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Nonsense.
Yeah, there's a lot of I mean, I belong to a group called Audio Bullshit, you know, but I mean, I'm not an engineer.
BS. Audio BS, yes.
Well, it's not called that, so that must be another group. I'll have to have a look at that one. But yeah, I mean, you guys would know better than me the fact of, you know, these are boxes with components in. You know, you change the components, you might subtly change the sound quality of the product, but there comes a point where a lot of it is nonsense, and you know, putting paper clips near stuff ain't going to make no difference. But you know, how somebody can change the laws of physics, I don't know, but they do it and charge you thousands for it.
Okay, so George, what have we got? Yeah, he's on about cable ties, apparently, specially treated cable ties, £10 each.
£10?
£10 each cable tie, yeah.
Seems a lot for a cable tie.
George is saying that valves give more even harmonics, so sound warmer than the transistor amps that have odd harmonics.
What do you think about that? I mean,
not a clue.
There are good solid state products out there, and there are good valve products out there. It's more to do with the amount of time and effort that goes into the making of them than whether they've got valves or solid state in them. I mean, I've got a £4,500 Volve digital to analog converter, and I've got one that costs, that I bought second hand for £500. The differences between the two, I would say that the one that costs £4,500, that's the Volve one, sounds slightly better, but for certain things that I put with it, it's got maybe a little bit too much bass, or the bass is a bit too flabby, whereas the solid state one is a fairly even sound across whatever I plug into it.
There you go, people. Right, did we want to have a look at zapping an AF117? I know we had a question last week, could I zap an AF117 live just to show them what I do? We'll have a go. We can always try, can't we? We'll have a go. So why don't we zap one of the ones in that little bush set that I had last week. So let me just get that one on the bench. This one here is brimming with AF117s. I'll just get the camera up a little bit. Fire. I think it has been deoxit costs 4 times as much as not treated. Yeah, it's worth 4 times as much, you mean, Brett? Oxygen-free speaker cable was all the rage over here back in the 1990s. $25 a foot. Blow one to bits. Oh dear.
Graham has made some incredible cabling, and he uses a reel of cable that cost him about probably 1,000 times less than some of the manufacturers that are charging £1,000 a metre for it are getting. So
right, let's get this this one taken apart. So we'll do this live then. Who's got to test me, haven't you? They're always testing me, Trev. Trying to get me to do things that will never work.
What is? I don't even know what zapping.
Well, basically these little transistors in this set here, in this particular one, develop what they call tin whiskers. Let's get you on the overhead camera. They develop tin whiskers. So this little tiny tin whiskers grow from the outside of the can to the inside. I'll show you what one looks like in the flesh. What's that? Yeah, let's get one with all the legs on it. So that's what one actually looks like. Get that on my hand. So that's what they look like when they're new. And basically this metal can starts growing like a crystalline whisker on the inside, and they eventually short the case to the junctions. So as I said last week, a quick fix is to cut the shield wire off, which is the second one in there, and that removes the short, but eventually the shorts grow across all the junctions and the transistor is shot. So the idea is to zap them by putting a current through them that basically will burn off those little tin whiskers. So that's the job for today then. So Sean wants to know if I'll do an AF117 exchange. I put 60 volts across them, to be honest. So let's look at my so this is the 3 that we're gonna do. So what I'll do is I'll just take a quick picture of those. If Trev could pass me my phone there, Trev, just so as I know what colour wires go where on one of these. And we'll take this one because it's closest and a bit easier to get at. That sounds like the dog walkers are back. I went down to say hello to my missus and she'd gone out with the dog. So looking at this, I'm going to cut the shield wire off of now. Oh yeah, okay. So let's take that one off first. So I'm just going to snip that one off. It's got pretty long legs on it. Easiest one to get at, really, isn't it? Let's just pop that one out of there. I don't know if this one's actually got shorts, but I mean it's got this red stuff on the outside. It's just a little sleeve, and you'll see from the top there if I zoom in. get the light right on it. Get it the right way up. It is an AF117 made by Mullard, British made. I'll zoom back out a bit then. So let's get the multimeter in. And we'll have a look to see if this one's got any shorts on it. Because obviously we want one with shorts ideally. So I'm going to put the meter onto the ohm scale. I think these are all the same colour leads, so I can safely take these off. So I'm just going to pull these sleeves off, but we will put them back on afterwards. So it looks like the collector's blue, base is green, and the emitter is yellow. So what I'm going to do, let's just make a little bit more space. So I'm going to hold the multimeter onto the shield wire. And I'm going to test the other 3 wires, so that should remain as OL. Okay, so I should get no reading on these unless there's a short. Well, there you go, I've got 5.8K, so there's definitely a short there to the collector. So I've got quite a big short there. 25 ohms to the base. It's also shorted to the emitter as well at 24, 23 ohms. So that one has got quite heavy shorts on it. Well, quite bad shorts. Heavy. Too much alcohol last night, Graham. So let me just alter my camera over to the my bench power supply. Excuse me, Chuck. If I can find it in the viewfinder. Where is the bench supply? Up there. Bear with me, people. I'm getting there. Okay. There's my bench supply. It's a little bit dark, let's just get rid of the banner off of there. There we go. So this is a 0 to 32 volt supply, and I've got 2 separate outputs. So both of these outputs are 0 to 32 volts. So what we need to do is we need to join the 2 outputs together, and that will give me 60 volts. I'm not going to push it right up to 60. I tend to try and run it down at 50 volts, which is more than enough. You can zap an AF117 on a lot lower voltage than that. You can do them with a 9 volt battery even, but you don't get as much bang for your buck. So what we need to do is we need to join these 2. So I'm just going to loosen this this little bridge, put that back in line. And that now turns my power supply into a 64 volt power supply. He says, smashing the place up as usual. So I'm going to connect these multimeter leads in here. One in the positive, one in the negative. Switch it on. So basically I've now got 18. I need to track them. So I need to pop my voltage up. I'm going to go up to 25 volts. So if we go back to my multimeter now, let's just go back to the overhead cam. I'm on volts, so we'll measure the volts on this these probes, and there should be somewhere around about 50 volts now. Bear with me because I'm not actually watching the chat at the moment. There we go. 50, just over 50 volts. Let's turn that back off then for a minute. Let's get the multimeter out of the way. Getting everything tangled up now. Just going to pop the soldering iron on. And let's go back to the webcam a minute. I'm just going to put the camera back down on the bench. Zoom back out a bit. There we go. Okay. So let's get back to the overhead cam then a minute. I'll show you what we're going to do next. Let's go in a little bit. So what we need to do now is we need to short between the 3 junctions and the shield wire, which is the case basically. So we're going to actually send a current through that, which is going to burn off anything that's attached to the negative shield wire. So what I need to do is just solder these 3 together. So I've got the soldering iron nicely burning away on some plastic down there. Oops. I just take that out of the way for the camera just now. Let's just grab a bit of solder. So I'm just going to solder these together. There we go. So the base collector and emitter are all soldered together and the shield wire is free. Yeah? Next we need a capacitor. I don't know, it sounds like a neighbour's kids are kicking off as well now. This will go here, isn't it? Should put the radio mic on. I need to find a capacitor. Let's go with it's something with a fairly good rating. So what have we got here? Okay, that's 10 volts. That'll go bang with 50 volts going through it. 25 volts. 25 volts. Where's my high? Where's my high capacity? Capacitors. Need something with around about 60 odd volts on it. I did have one here somewhere, but it's been tidied up, hasn't it, Paul? Okay. I'm looking for something with a rating of around about 100 volts. Would be ideal. And I'm looking for around about 100 microfarads. And I haven't got anything, have I? Yes, I have. Here we go. 100 microfarads, 100 volts. Again, I don't know why 100 microfarads, but that's... This is all information that I've gained off of Mark Hennessy's website. And if anyone has got the link, that'd be great. I might see the flash, Paul, saying if I turn the lights out when I do it. Andrew's a pyromaniac, I think. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to connect one lead to the positive. Oh, sorry, one lead must go to the bank of 3, and I'm leaving the other one hanging, but just so as it'll touch there. So I'm just going to solder that together. Hopefully you're all with me and you know what I'm going on about. A lot of you have already done this before. Okay. So you can see that if I put a bit of paper underneath, that's too bright now, isn't it? So basically that I can just about touch that lead on. So what I need to do now is connect my test leads. Let's zoom out a bit, I'm a bit close there. I need to connect my test leads. I've got the power supply turned off at the moment. One thing you do have to make sure on this is that the mic is, you might not be able to hear me. Let me just put this back in omnidirectional a minute. There we go. Hopefully you can hear me a bit better now. What you're going to make sure is that you don't connect the positive to the negative on the capacitor, because the capacitor will go bang. Believe me, I know that because I've done it. I still do it occasionally. Sort of slight lack of concentration moment and away you go. So we need to connect up to the capacitor. And the idea is we'll just touch them together like that and put current through them. So I'm going to turn the power supply on. Turn the current limits up on them. So I'm just going to touch them together, and hopefully you can't see anything, but that is enough to send current through that transistor. So that's done. Let me just turn the power supply off. Bear in mind that that capacitor has still got voltage on it. If I hope it has. Just check that with the multimeter. Get the glare off of it, that is. Come on, glare, get off. There we go. So that's probably still got some voltage on it. Let's have a look. .6 volts and dropping that. So just short that across with a resistor a minute. If I can find one. The resistor. That's it. Paul's just posted the Mark Hennessy article. That is where I got it from. So I'm just going to short that across now with a resistor. You could just stick a screwdriver or something across it, I suppose. We're not talking mental voltage here. And that should now have no voltage on it. No, 0.1. 0.1 of a volt. You can get voltage creep back in, so it's always worth checking. So next job is to solder this leg to here. Again, this is a Mark Hennessy thing. This is what Mark has suggested, and I totally agree with him. So what we're going to do, we're just going to solder the negative lead onto the shield wire. So we've already zapped this one. This is just an extra little precaution. So now my transistor and capacitor are soldered together. So once again we're going to go in with the wires, clip leads. What we're going to do now is we're going we're going to give this a good hide in now. So the idea is to turn it on. Let's get it down on the bench. Just give it. That just really, if there's any that aren't quite zapped, that are fairly close to the surface, doing this will just knock them off. So let's turn that off again. Let's short that one out. There we go, so we can take that off now. Need to separate the legs up on it. Yep, they're all separate. And let's see if that's still got shorts on it. And it may do. It may well have shorts on it, and sometimes you do have to do these a couple times. Let's get the multimeter back in the shop. Back up to ohms again. Just tidy myself up here because I've got stuff everywhere again as usual. So again, I'm going to hold one probe onto the shield wire. Let's make sure they're not all touching. So let's go with the collector. Nothing. Base. Nothing. Emitter. Nothing. So that's not the end. We just need to make sure that it is still a transistor and we haven't zapped it into outer space and ruined it. So we have no shorts, but we need to make sure it's a transistor still. So let's get my peak tester in, connect it up. Obviously you don't connect the shield wire up, you just need to connect base, collector and the emitter up. We just need to turn it on and just make sure that it still is a transistor. There you go. We have a working transistor. We've just scrolled down, just check the leakage current as well on it. Quite low leakage, look, 0.04. Obviously if I put my hand on that, if I just put my fingers on that, just hold the end of that for a minute, just get a bit of warmth on it. So if you remember that figure, 0.041, this is why you need a little bit of extra circuitry sometimes with germanium. Let's push the button again. HFE's changed. And the leakage current's gone up to 0.059 now. So basically what I'm saying is that temperature does affect these transistors, so don't worry too much about the end figure as long as it's not ridiculous. You know, if you had a leakage current of say 1 or 1.52 milliamps, then you know, you need to be looking at your transistor and probably changing it. But there you go. That is a perfectly working transistor. So it's a laboratory. Let me catch up with the comments then. Trev's joining in the chat as well. He's sat here on his phone.
It's a bit sporadic, but
okay. Spanky, hopefully that's answered your question about damaging them. It doesn't. Benji uses a charged cap. Well, that's exactly what I've just done. I've just charged the cap up, but You can just hold the cap against it if you want, but I think this is the safest way of doing it. Yeah, sometimes they do grow between junctions as well, Mike. Unfortunately, when that happens, you can't usually burn them off. It's pretty toast then. Throw them away. 7 pp3 batteries connected in series with a 470 microfarad cap. That'll do the job. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one flash pull, to be fair, but that one did have bad shorts on it. That was pretty bad. The shelves are looking slightly more lived in than when you left them. So yeah, click on that Mark Hennessy article. That is really good. Goes through it step by step. You've seen me just do it there now. Yeah, luckily I didn't short anything out there. Trev's answering the headphones question still. Good stuff. Electrostats. So Paul's been experimenting with dropping the AF117s into an ultrasonic cleaner. Works well after zapping. So you got to zap them and then drop them in. I don't see the usefulness of that, Paul. Are you saying that you can put them in the ultrasonic cleaner and that gets rid of the tin whiskers, or does that just clean them up afterwards? It's a laboratory, Theo, yeah. George uses 400 volts. Jesus Christ, George, that... I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't recommend that, to be fair, George, but that certainly would blow the bejesus out of it, wouldn't it, really? I think Simon's done them with a mega tester as well before, and he's charged a cap up with a mega and zapped them like that. So there you are, people. That shows you that you can zap them. It works. Pretty easy to do, to be fair, but it will save a lot of old radios, because sooner or later we're not going to be able to get replacement transistors, and the only thing you're going to be able to do is to zap them. You know, that'll be your only fix. Yeah, I've not very often had one that won't zap. I've had a few, obviously, because I've done loads of them, but you get occasional one. But I've had a really good success rate doing it like that. To say, that's really down to Mark Hennessy. Anyway, people, it's what is it now? It's just coming up 10 to 5. I think we've pretty much done for today. Mike's saying he's never heard the MDAC, Trevor, but the QDACs are sweet as a nut.
Can you ask, how much is it, Mike?
Mike, Trev's asking how much the QDAC is.
Because I think it's his little brother, like me.
It's the MDAC's little brother, is it, you think?
Like me, to you.
Right, okay. Yeah, you can use other PNP transistors, George. As I say, they're getting ridiculously expensive, aren't they? And any germanium transistor seems to be really crazily priced at the moment. They are difficult to get hold of. So well done to Lee. I think Lee joined us halfway through. I was doing something else there, Lee, so apologies, but well done, mate, on winning that lovely Rick 1 from Sean. And to the other two people that won the two RFM3s from Paul. So far I've heard from James, who won the grey one, Obviously, Lee, you'll need to just email me your address. Or I've actually got Lee's address, to be fair, so I can email that across. Check my Facebook. What have you been sending me? James T isn't in my subscriber list. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Paul. The thing is a lot of people don't actually show their subscriptions. They can actually they can hide their subs, basically, and a lot of people do. They don't. If you click on their profiles and you go to subs, it just shows nothing. So I think we did. Well, I did say basically that it's not something we can police, unfortunately. But yeah, James, if you're not subscribed, you need to. See, James is saying he is subscribed, so it's just people can hide their subscriptions, Paul. That's all it is, mate. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Right, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks again to Trevor.
Thank you.
If you want to come back this way, Trev, and say bye to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pleasure. Thanks very much, guys.
Cheers, people.
Well done, you 3 winners.
Catch you all again soon, and we'll play out to the lovely Radiocruncher intro. So catch you all again soon.
Okay.
Bye for now.
See ya.